as a matter of fact, we have been given around 8, and later on 2 more were added. 8 thematic areas on which we are supposed to deliver the content, and that is, you can say, categorically defined by UGC. Okay, wherein they have come up very clear-cut guidelines. And today we are at the fag end, and one of the important component of this NEP 2020 orientation and sensitization is the use of ICT in, you can say, teaching, learning, and assessment. Right? So today we will have some discussion on these aspects. So being a teacher, how we need to change ourselves. Okay, that is what is the thematic, you can say, the bottom line of today's discussion. Okay, so things are changing. Okay, so we need to adapt. I know very well that I am addressing to a crowd who belong to, you can say, a premier institution like VIIT, right? But still, okay, there are certain things which many times we ignore, or we take it a little bit casually. Okay, so we'll just try to understand what this teaching, learning, and assessment is all about. And whenever we perform our duties as a teacher, okay, what care one must take, and how do we adapt to the changing scenarios. So in the initial discussion, okay, we will have some presentation wherein I will just try to build up some theoretical foundation. Okay, and we'll have some discussion. Okay, I'll not be rather teaching you. I'll be sharing my experiences with you. Okay, and I would love to hear, let's say, if you respond. Okay, the almost you must have seen that almost all the speaker, uh, the idea behind this two-way or a dialogue is pretty simple. That is because we are going for a change, and whenever a change is there, okay, there are always two sides of a coin, right? So we need to brainstorm on certain aspect. Okay, we need to have some discussion, and that's why, if you must have seen, I have shared one paper, okay, which is, you can say, a white paper as far as the use of AI or use of technology in teaching, learning, and assessment is concerned. Okay, so I hope you must have gone through it. Okay, that is, we will not have, if time permits, then definitely we'll have certain things. But what I have planned for today's deliberation is, we will have some theoretical foundation wherein we will just try to understand what teaching, learning, and assessment is all about. What are the various modes of, you can say, assessment? What are the various? Then gradually we'll just move ahead with how we can, you can say, incorporate various tools, ICT tools in particular. Okay, for assessment, or maybe I have planned one more thing, that is, because you are all from technical background. So we'll have something on maybe robotic process automation, RPA tool, okay, wherein we'll just try to discuss one of the important tool, what is called as the UI path. Okay, so we'll see that is how the things are changing. And definitely, okay, being a teacher, we need to change ourselves. We need to change our mindset. We need to change our attitude and so on. Right. So with this little bit background, I'll just start sharing my screen. Okay. And I would love to, let's say, all of you have got privilege to unmute yourself. So I would love to interact in between at any point of time. If you feel like, sir, we need to have some discussion on this, definitely we can have, right? So with this note, let us start today's session. Okay. So I'll share my entire screen. Go ahead with the presentation. First of all, let's see whether it works or not. So this is my presentation. I hope it is visible to you. Any one of you just confirm.
Yes, sir. It is visible,
Thank
but
you.
not in
Thank you.
presentation mode, sir.
Again, it is not in presentation mode. The problem is, whenever I am trying to share a tab or a window, it is giving some problem. Okay, I'll close it, and then I'll again try to go for a, I can say, the entire. Let me share the entire screen. Hopefully it will work, because last time we tried that gimmick and it works, right? Let us see.
No, sir.
It was still not visible.
Not visible, sir. We can see Word document that has popped up the message. The document recovery tasks contains.
Hey, let me open my presentation once again. Now let's hope it will work this. Hopefully it is visible to you.
Yes, it is
Is it
now
visible?
visible. Yes, yes, sir.
Okay,
It is visible.
okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Joshi sir, for confirming.
Welcome, sir.
Yeah. So this is what is there on the agenda as far as today's session is concerned. But what I'll do, that is my, I'll change as per your requirement once again. Let's say if you respond to my, what should I say, the queries, okay, or whatever discussion we will have. Okay, so we can skip some of the theoretical stuff if you feel like that somebody else has talked on those issues. Okay, but my orientation is altogether different. That is, here we are going to discuss, right? Here we are going to discuss how we can adapt technology, okay, in our teaching, learning, and assessment process, right? And my main focal point would be that is how to make particularly assessment bit easier, right? And if you are aware, those who are working with AICT, somebody must be having that AICT portfolio. Now AICT has come up with rather as a mandatory part, that is you need to register on Parak, right? So Parak you must have heard about, right? So what I intend to say is all the governing agencies, they are taking up these issues, that is adapting of you can say technology in teaching, learning, and particularly in assessment, right? Why it is so, then again during our deliberation we will have some discussion on those aspects, right? So this is what is there on the agenda. That is we will start with you can say the various terms in psychologies of learning. In between, you just allow me to, would I say, that is stop my video, right? There is no reason. That is the only reason is I am getting some fluctuations in the connectivity, right? So let us move ahead with what are the learning objectives as far as today's session is concerned. So we will just start with various terms in psychologies of learning and education. Then we'll move ahead with what is a teaching learning process. Some of you may find this little bit, you can say, fundamental. Okay, but I also belong to your fraternity. That is, I am basically a teacher from a technical engineering background, right? So I know that as far as you can say the teachers from technical educations are concerned, okay, we normally we have not been trained, what I intend to say, right? We have not been trained, that is how to teach. Okay, and that's why intentionally I have kept some of the slides on these basic aspects. Okay, wherein we'll just try to explore certain, you can say, terminologies, or maybe the teaching learning process. What are the four blocks, basic block, fundamental block? What are the factors of influencing learning? What are the modes of learning, transfer of learning, and laws of learning, right? Apart from that, then the second half is basically devoted to what is assessment. Okay, when it comes to assessment, what are the various types of assessment? Okay, and what is integrative assessment, summative assessment, okay, and so on and so forth, right? And then we'll just have a look at a SAMR model, which is typically used for identifying whether a particular tool is a standard tool or not. Let's say you are using Google Classroom or any other tool for that purpose, particularly for assessment purpose. So whether you can go ahead with that tool, okay, that decision many times we need to take. So this is basically SAMR model talks about the criteria, okay, whether a particular tool is good for teaching, learning, and assessment, right? Then in between, if time permits, I'll offer you tea. That is, we will have technology-enabled assessment. Okay, and then at the end, we'll have some hands-on. I'll not go in detail of all the features. But not possible in you can say 2 or 3 hours, right? But I'll expose you to n number of tools. Okay, as I said, that is, we will have something if time permits. We'll have something on robotic process automation, or what they call it as the RPA in general, right? Wherein we'll just try to discuss the UI path, okay, from the scratch, that is from the installation and so on, right? Now, having said this, let us move to you can say the psychological learning terminologies, right? So what are the, you can say, a teacher needs to be aware about all this. See, even though we do it in our day-to-day life, but I personally feel that we need to invest some time understanding these concepts, because as a teacher, we must have a clear-cut understanding about all these terms. So the very first analogy is what they call it as the pedagogy, right? So before I proceed, I would love to hear from you. What is your understanding of pedagogy? Any one of you? I hope you people are with me, and it's probably 2 o'clock. You must have your lunch, and any one of you, if you feel like reacting on this, okay, I will be happy to listen. And again, since you have been bombarded with the philosophy of NEP, you very well know that we have adopted a three-language formula. So Hindi, Marathi, or English will be is not an issue, right? But being a teacher, okay, what is our understanding of a pedagogy? If I don't know, it may happen that you may be, anyway. I'll not comment on that. You may be a little bit reluctant to come up with this, but anyway, what is pedagogy? Pedagogy is nothing but you can say the method and practice of teaching. Okay, especially as an academic subject or a theoretical concept, right? So whatever approach you are adopting when you enter into a theory class, okay, whatever, see, it varies from person to person, okay. I'll come to that point, okay, because there's no single pedagogy which is best to teach a particular subject or a particular topic, right? So it is the discipline that deals with the theory and practice of education, and that's why. And what is the ultimate objective of pedagogy is how best to teach, right? How best to teach. So being a teacher, almost all of us, we aim to you can say impart the, or rather the transfer the information in the best possible manner, right? And that's why it is also referred to as the theory of education. So as I said, let's say whatever you do in a theory session is nothing but the pedagogy. You adopt some or the other approach for delivering that particular session. Let's say if I ask you to deliver a session on a particular XYZ topic tomorrow from say 11:30 to 12:30. So how you will proceed? What are the various steps? Whether there is any sequence of steps which has been identified? If yes, what are they? Again, I would love to hear from you. Yes. Okay. No response, doesn't matter. Okay. Normally we adopt this 5-step process. Okay, and these 5 steps as a crucial component. Okay, normally what do? We prepare for a session. Okay, then you go for what you call it as the presentation in the classroom environment, and there are few more expectations. Okay, while delivering, that is, this is when you are actually delivering the stuff in the classroom environment. Okay, what are those steps? Those steps are association, generalization, and application. Now, with I'm making a bold statement. With due respect to maybe the teachers present in the session, okay, most of us, I'm not saying all, but most of us, we struggle when it comes to association, generalization, and application. Okay, you can understand this. Let's say what we feel that we prepare some stuff, maybe using some the method, again, method of teaching. You can adopt a chalkboard or maybe a PowerPoint presentation. That doesn't make any difference, right? But while actually delivering the session, okay, you need to adopt what is called as the association, generalization, and application. And what does this mean? So this basically means that is whatever concept you are trying to deliver, how you can relate it with the real life examples. That is how you can associate those things. Because say, for example, I'll share you just for the sake of example. Most of you are from maybe computer science or electronics background. So particularly the students from computer science, we have around mathematics 1 to mathematics 5 or 6, okay, varying from university to university. But when I did my bachelor's, okay, we have been taught around M1 to M4. Apart from that, again, numerical methods and computer programs. So around 6, 7 subjects were there on mathematics. And if you look at the title of the subject itself, it was applied mathematics 1, applied mathematics 2, and so on. But unfortunately, what has happened, I am not criticizing uh, the teachers who have taught me, right? They were definitely stalwarts in their domain. They were good mathematicians. But what has happened, what I'm trying to emphasize is, let's say if you are learning Fourier transform or Z transform, right? Fourier transform, Z transform, how to solve a particular problem, mathematical problem, how to deduce certain things, you can very well do that. But nobody has taught us that is how it is applied in digital image processing or maybe in other areas of computer science. So what I'm trying to say, unless and until you associate it, you make it, you talk about the application, the student find it little bit boring, right? And that's why whenever you are delivering, irrespective of the topic, it is mandatory to adopt that. Rather, you must have a mastery, okay, and you must some way or the other touch upon these three aspects of, you can say, the pedagogy. So having said this, there is another term which I have tossed, is the andragogy. Now, I have understood that you people are not in a position to speak. Anyway, so what I'll do, I'll go ahead with the stuff, whatever I have prepared. Let's say andragogy. Andragogy is something when you are dealing with adult learners, right? When you are dealing with adult learners, meaning thereby, now if you look at the kind of input you get in engineering colleges, they are all grown up, right? They all are 18 plus or 17 plus years of age, right? So how do you treat them, right? Whether you should treat them, whether you should adopt the pedagogy or you should adopt the andragogy. As a matter of fact, you need to adopt the andragogy. And what andragogy talks about, it is the method and practice of teaching adult learners, right? And it was very first time it was tossed by, you can say, the Alexander Cap in 1833. Okay, so as a matter of fact, you are not dealing with small kids, right? So your approach has to be different. Now you may ask, sir, how it is to be different, right? So it is basically the science of understanding theory and the supporting practice. Now here we are considering two aspects. If you look at the pedagogy, normally uh, our approach is the theory, right? But here it is a mix of, you can say, the theory and the practice, okay? And that's why now you may have a question in your mind, that is, sir, how we need to change ourselves when you are dealing with adult learners. The only thing you need to change yourself is, because the students, they are grown up, they are not small kids. So your role, you need to change from a teacher to a facilitator of learning, right? Right? How it is to be done, again, that is an open-ended question, okay? But because if you look at the today's students, they normally they do not rely on the, you can say, the college or the institution for learning purposes. They have n number of sources of learning, right? So Keeping that in mind, you need to change your approach from a teacher to a facilitator of learning, right? And what is the ultimate objective? That is how we can transform ordinary student into a lifelong learner, right? Or a self-directed and autonomous learner. That must be the philosophy, underlying philosophy for andragogy. Right. Now, having said this, we'll just have a, you can say, a cursory look at some fundamental aspects of teaching. Okay, I know that you are all, you can say, best teacher, but most of the time we ignore. We feel that teaching is one of the easiest job, but if you look at this slide, you will understand that teaching is not at all easy, right? So what is it? It is defined as an interactive process. So whenever a teaching is happening, there has to be a dialogue, right? Primarily involving classroom, which takes between the teacher and the students. So what are the parties involved here? The student and the teachers. Okay, and if there is no dialogue, meaning thereby you can claim that there is no teaching happening in that. So, but who is a teacher, right? Teaching is an art, science, and skill. Okay, now look at these three statements. What are the, you can say, the qualities that a good teacher must possess? He or she must have creative proficiency of an artist, precise attitude of a scientist, and a perfected skills of a craftsman. Oh, I have read out these things very casually, but they are not that easy to achieve. Okay, that's why most of the time I used to say that teaching is one of the most challenging job. Why? Because every time you get some, you can say, let's say if you are addressing to 60 odd students, so as a matter of fact, you are having 60 challenges in front of you, right? Because there are slow learners, there are fast learners, there are students having, you can say, different IQs and skills and capacities and whatnot, right? So, being a teacher, okay, you need to take care of everyone, right? From say roll number 1 to roll number 60, and it is not that easy. And every year, what is happening? Your classes are changing, the inputs are changing, so you are working in a very dynamic and vibrant environment, right? So teaching is not at all easy, but the thing is that how serious you are about your profession, right? So that makes the difference, right? There is another term which is usually tossed is the training. Okay, what is training? It is most of the time what do? We put a slash teaching, oblique training, and so on, but they are altogether different. Training is an organized activity aimed at imparting information and or instruction to improve the recipient's performance, right? Or to help him or her to attain a required level of knowledge or skill, right? So it is usually of a shorter duration. Let's say if you want to learn how to drive a car, normally you join a training institute. Okay, you will not join a college for that purpose, right? It is expected to give immediate results. Maybe after undergoing 8 or 10 sessions, you should be able to drive, right? The term, it has evolved. If you look at the historical perspective, it has evolved in World War II. What has happened? Those days, there was dearth of, you can say, the soldiers. So the ordinary citizens, they were trained in warfare equipments, and they were deployed on the war front, something like that, right? So training is different, teaching is different, and there is one more term what we must be aware about is the learning, right? So what is learning is a relatively permanent change in behavior resulting from reinforced practice, right? Resulting from reinforced practice. So learning is a process as well as a product. Why I'm saying as a process? Because when the students enter into your institute in first year, then he or she will undergo maybe around 40 odd subjects over a period of 4 years, right? And moment he or she passes, okay, he or she becomes your product. That product again, it should be employable, right? So you are transforming a student into a product. That's why it is also referred to as a process as well as a product. Okay, so it is the nature or tendency of human being. Now by default, irrespective of whether you take admission in an institution or not, okay, you normally learn. Okay, that is human tendency. Okay, you look at the bringing up of you can say the child in your home, right? Again, you are learning a lot of things. Many times you learn from your parents, you learn from your elders, you learn from your, what should I say, maybe your peers and so on, right? So it is the process of mental development. Now there are, when we talk about mental development, we have three different aspects. One is the cognitive, second is the affective, and the third one is the psychomotor. I don't know exactly, but I feel that somebody must have talked on these issues. But we will try to understand these things in different perspective. As I said, that is from assessment perspective. And again, one more thing we need to understand is it is both positive and negative. Okay. Again, this is our myth. Being a teacher, we feel that always a positive kind of transfer is taking place. But that is, as I said, it is a myth. It is individual in nature. Okay. And it is creative. That is the ultimate aim of learning, is how you can transform an ordinary student into a critical thinker. Let's say if you have achieved this, meaning thereby you have achieved your objectives of education in general, right? So if the students are able to think critically, okay, that is the highest level of you can say the mental development process, right? So you can claim that you have achieved in your objectives of the institution, right? Now, having said this, these are the four. I'll not go into the detail, but as a teacher, we must understand this. That is the very first block. When we talk about the basic teaching model, the very first block is nothing but the instructional objectives. Okay, then you have entering behavior, then you have instructional procedure, and at the end you have performance assessment. Now, if you look at this, you can analyze even, let's say, the topic I am delivering on. I have jot down certain objectives. That was my first slide. Then entering behavior. Okay, so for entering behavior, what happens is when you join some corporate training, I have undergone few. Okay, so what do they do normally? They conduct your 0 8 day test. Okay, and when you finish up that 8 days or 15 days training program, at the end of the you can say the last day, or maybe uh, after that, they go for a final assessment. Okay, so they wanted to actually know or assess where you were before joining the you can say the course, and what is your status after the completion of that course, something like that, right? So we have all these four blocks, okay, as a basic teaching model, right? I'll not elaborate on this because these are all self-explanatory. Instructional objectives, students should attain upon, you can say, completing a segment of instruction. Maybe entering behavior, describe the student's level before the instruction begin. Okay, instructional procedure is, let's say you have been I should say bombarded with various aspects of NEP 2020 over a period of 8 days, right? That is nothing but the procedure. Okay, and different resource person have adopted different methodologies, right, or the pedagogies, right? And at the end, what is it? Again, we will have the assessment. Okay, so performance assessment is there. So we'll be looking at this performance assessment block in a greater detail, right? Now, before directly switching to the performance assessment, other aspect, okay, we need to understand as a teachers what are the factors which affect the learning process. Okay, so there are numerous. Okay, I'll not again go into the detail. I'll not talk on those aspects. But if you look at the NEP 2020 perspective, okay, there are two things which are important: the attitude and the aptitude. Okay, so personal factors are there. Then you have environmental factors. Okay, wherein you have media influence on learning and so on. Right. So, but why I'm saying aptitude and attitude? Let's say when you look at the, you can say the, whenever any corporate company visit your premises, and if you look at their you can say the selection process and so on, okay, they give due importance to the aptitude and attitude. Even if the student is lagging in some technical aspects, they will ignore it because and when you ask them, they will say, okay, normally they pick the student which are not very, you can say, having 9.5 pointers and something like that, they pick, most of the time they pick students in the middle band, maybe 7.0 to 8.0. And when you ask them, they come up with the answer, okay, sir, the student XYZ student is really good in technical aspects, okay, or theoretical knowledge, but he or she is not a good fit when it comes to our uh, organizational culture. Okay, that makes the difference. That is the aptitude and the attitude. Okay, he is not a good fit in a teamwork. Okay, so that's why we need to give, you can say, rather, we need to take due care with regard to these two aspects, that is the aptitude and the attitude. Now, having said this, let us try to understand what are the modes of learning. Again, these are all self-explanatory. Okay, so learning, many times we feel that the learning takes place within the four wall of the institute. Again, that is wrong. Okay, learning takes place by observation, by imitation, by trial and error. That is what the student carry out in a laboratory session. That is trial and error. Okay, and the highest level is learning by insight. That is when he or she is transformed into a critical thinker, right? So these are the four modes of learning. Okay, again, there are, you can say, whenever the learning takes place, we feel that always the positive mode of transfer, rather the information transfer or the knowledge transfer is taking place. But there are two more possibilities. I think I have touched upon this aspect earlier as well. So positive is definitely, that is what we try to achieve. Okay, so what is it? It takes place when the learning of a particular, you can say, facilitates the learning of another task. Okay, you are teaching A. Okay, then if it is that A is, and that's why we have prerequisite on all, right? So the another possibility is if the learning of a particular task interferes with the learning of the subsequent task, then it is said to be a negative transfer, and there is no difference. It is said to be a zero transfer. So these possibilities are there, right? These possibilities are there, and definitely we should try to keep ourselves in the very first quadrant, I should say, right? The positive transfer, right? And there are again various laws of learning. Again, I'll not go into these things in much detail, but we need to understand this. That is what is law of readiness, law of practice, and law of effect, right? So if you look at, I can say, the law of Uh, I hope I'm with you. Yeah. Okay. Let me try. Yeah. So what is it? It is the ready law of readiness is the state of the student when he or she is ready to learn. Law of practice when he carry out the same task again and again, and then he or she gets mastery over it. And law of effect is the teacher should provide a good conducive environment. Now this is, I think, is we need to understand as a teacher, right? Let's say if you are providing a good conducive environment wherein the learning takes place, again, you have done your job, I tell you, right? So these are the, you can say, the important aspects from the, you can say, the teaching learning perspective. Okay, and what is learning? This is it is a permanent change in behavior. Whenever we say the students are learning, meaning thereby their behavior is changing, it is reflected in terms of their behavior, right? And how do they learn? Resulting from a reinforced practice, doing it again and again, right? So it refers to the changes in behavior that result from, you can say, the previous successful behavior in similar situation, right? So if one is really learning, one's behavior become more effective and adaptive, right? We are all human being, right? So we adapt to the changing requirement. Let's say this NEP 2020 has come up, right? Earlier we were having something different, right? Now we are adapting to this new change. Okay, maybe over a period of time we need to discard certain things, we need to add certain things. That is quite obvious, right? So whenever the changes takes place, it is bound to happen, right? Now, having said this, I think this aspect that is of learning, I think I've told you in the beginning, wherein we have talked about three domains of learning. One is the cognitive, second is the affective, and the third one is the psychomotor. Right. So, what is cognitive? It is knowledge and intellectual skills. right? It is the knowledge and the intellectual skill. Affective, meaning they have feeling, emotions, and attitudes. Okay. And psychomotor, that is utilizing motor skill and the ability to coordinate them, right? Now, if you look at our education system, we give, I'm talking about the we NEP 2020 era, right? Now, the NEP is there for bringing out all these changes, right? So we give undue importance. That is, if you look at the question papers, you will find them that we give undue importance to knowledge and intellectual skills, right? Mugging up and reproducing the things. Okay, that is what is our education system is most of the time is all about. Now, the changes are taking, right, from the NEP 2020 perspective. Changes are happening in a positive direction. But affective and psychomotor. But ideally, uh, let's say if you have a 100-point scale, then we must give maybe 30, 33, 33, and 34 as the weightage to all of them because they are all important. Okay. What happens? Our students are very good when it comes to theoretical aspects, but while doing all those things in a real life scenario, they are not at all good, I should say. And that's why they are not employable, right? And that's why the industry people, they cry, sir, we are not getting talent, right? So there is a gap. What I intend to say, there is a gap between the industry and the academia, right? So having said this is cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. What cognitive is all about is understanding, problem solving, deriving a formula and application. Affective, values, attitudes, interests, disciplines, right? And psychomotor is learning by doing, maybe the practical skills, okay, driving, assembling, painting, and so on, right? Now, if you club these three at the top, if you look at, you have teaching, and the bottom is nothing but the learning. So when we have a holistic approach wherein we give equal importance to all these three aspects, then and then we can claim that the learning is happening in true sense, right? In true sense. So cognitive domain, psychomotor domain, and affective domain, right? Knowledge, skills, and attitude, right? Knowledge, skills, and attitude. Now, if you look at the historical perspective, we'll not invest much time because this is again a well-known theory. It has been proposed by, you can see, the Dr. Benjamin Bloom, and that's why it is referred to as a Bloom's taxonomy. It was proposed way back in 1956. And if you look at, if you just try to understand how it has evolved, okay, you will be surprised. He was educational psychologist who was leading a group of, you can say, intellectuals. Okay, this is a university setup, right? I am into a university setup since last 20 odd years, right? So how do they function? The developed nation I am talking about. The committee that is the led by Professor Bloom, they have come up with a document which has revolutionized the teaching learning process, right? It is an instructional theory that categorizes levels of learning. 6 levels they have categorized. And if you look at the beauty of this, you can say the Bloom's taxonomy, it is a tool for everything in teaching learning. If you remember that basic teaching model, okay, wherein we start from writing down the learning objectives to the assessment, right? So from scratch to finish, it covers all the aspects of teaching learning, right? So it is a tool for instructor to assist with writing learning outcomes. That is slide number 1. To curriculum planning, content delivery. I think Professor Apparao must have talked on that, is how to map COPOs and so on, right? And as at the last one is the assessment. So will not be discussing the you can see the blocks in between, but assessment definitely will have a detailed look at, right? So it is also called as the taxonomy of learning objectives. The another name given to Bloom's taxonomy is, and what was their observation? They found that the 95% of the test questions. Now, you must have observed that is whenever NB or NAC committee visit your institution, they ask for your question paper. What's the reason? The reason is simply to understand at which level of bloom you are working. Whether you are working at 1, 2, or 3, or you are struggling in 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6 are completely ignored. Okay, so that is what they try to understand. Right? So it has to be a reverse engineering sort of thing. When you go through the question paper, you can very well realize where you are. right? So it is a hierarchical approach, right, wherein you have the output of one thing as the input of the to the next level and so on, right? And this is what it is all about. That is knowledge at the bottom, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. Now if you look at our question papers, most of the time we restrict ourselves to, I'm not saying all the time, but most of the time we restrict ourselves to application, knowledge, comprehension, and application. Analysis, synthesis, and evaluation is a little bit rather ignored, or just because if you look at the difficulty level, it is the lowest at the knowledge. Okay, then gradually it increases. Definitely at evaluation, it is on the top, is the highest difficulty, right? So Bloom's level, you have action verbs. Okay, remember is the lowest level, wherein you ask somebody to define some phenomena or aspect. Okay, each setup builds on the one below, requiring the higher level of thinking and more difficult learning activities. Okay, so as I said, the difficulty level is the lowest at knowledge level, and it is highest at the evaluation level. Okay. These are some of the keywords. Okay, I'll not go. They are all self-explanatory, right? At one end, you have skills, definitions, keywords. Okay, knowledge, comprehension, application. Now look at the, just analyze any one of your paper. Okay, whatever you said. Okay, okay, you will find that we go up to this three level most of the time. Okay, analysis, synthesis, and evaluations are missing most of the time. They are missing, right? And that's why the NBA and NAC committee, they come up with their observation that, sir, you are working at level 3 or level 4, right? Not beyond that, right? So use Bloom's action verbs. We need to understand why it is so. Again, I'll come to that point. What are the problems in our, you can say, the assessments setup, right? So use Bloom's action verb to write learning outcome, as I said. So Bloom can be used as a tool for block number 1 to block number 4. Then curriculum mapping, use Blooms to assess measure students' progress. Okay, we'll be focusing on the last one, the third one, right? So it can be used for every aspect of, you can say, the teaching learning process, or you can address any of the issue of, you can say, the basic teaching model, right? So having said this, let us move ahead with, I'll not talk on structuring the course content and so on, because these aspects I personally feel that Professor Apparao, when he must have talked on outcome-based education, he must have covered all these aspects, right? Then what has happened, actually, over a period of time, one of the student of, you can say, Professor Bloom, Lauren Anderson, he has come up with certain changes in the Bloom's taxonomy, and that taxonomy is called as the revised Bloom's taxonomy. Okay, so he has made, as a matter of fact, only 2 changes, and which are very logical, and that's why it has been accepted by the word community. So changing the names in the 6th category from noun to verb, that is what he did. And the second change, what he has carried out is evaluate as the 5th level and the create to the top level. So he kept creativity at the top, and which is very obvious and logical. Okay, and he interchanged the 5th and 6th, that is evaluate on 5th and the creativity at the 6th level. If you remember repeatedly, I'm telling you that is how you can transform an ordinary student to a critical thinker. That should be the objective of education system. And just going through those, you can say, the aspects, we feel that, and everybody feels that this is one of the important change which must be carried out. So this is what is, you can say, the earlier we were talking about knowledge. Now it has been changed to verb: remember, understand, apply, analyze. Earlier we were having analysis, okay, synthesis, and so on. So evaluate and create at the top. So this is revised Bloom's taxonomy, right? So again, even if you are working at the lowest level, again, there are 4 dimensions of the knowledge. Okay. Now, once again, if you critically analyze your paper, we once again work at the lowest level. That is the factual knowledge. If you look at the language of the questions we said, it is the basic element student must know to be covered, right? To be addressed. Okay. So the interrelationship, that is the conceptual knowledge, again, that is missing, or the procedural knowledge, that is how to do something, maybe methods of inquiry. Again, those types of questions are missing. And one more level of knowledge is there, that is what they call it as the metacognitive knowledge. Okay. That is the knowledge of cognition in general, as well as knowledge of one's own cognition, right? So again, even if you are working at the lowest level, you have ways and means to go to, you rather increase the difficulty level by going to, you can say, the metacognitive knowledge, right? So having said this, then again you have Kruthol's taxonomy of affective domain. Again, I will not touch upon, but we'll have a cursory look at this. Okay, I said that is this talks about the affective domain, right? So you have receiving, responding, valuing, organization, and characterization. These are the, you can say, the five important aspects of affective domain. Okay, and they are all self-explanatory. I'll not elaborate on that. Receiving, students' willingness to attend a particular session, responding, how actively he is responding in your session. Okay, that is participation. Valuing, how much value the student assign to a particular object. Okay, and organization, beginning rather bringing together different values, resolving conflicts between them, and so on, right? And then characterization by value. So this is Kruthol's taxonomy of active domain, right? Now let us come back to our main, you can say, the focal point. What is it? It is how to use Bloom's for assessment purpose. Okay. Now, if you set, uh, I hope I'm loud and clear, and you people are with me, right? If you set questions of sort, say multiple choice, you are working at the lowest level of Bloom, that is remember. Okay, if you are asking something like summarize an article, okay, you are working at Bloom's level 2. If you are asking for analyzing a case study, you are working at Bloom's level 4. And when you have something like that is create a spreadsheet, as a matter of fact, you are working at Bloom's level 6, which is the highest level, right? So how we can move from the lowest level, that is knowledge level, to the creativity level, that should be always there in your mind whenever you go for setting up a question paper, right? So with this mantra, we will move ahead. But before that, we need to understand yours is an autonomous institution, right? So you have been given, I should say, very huge responsibility. That is how you maintain the integrity and all, right? So if you look at our education system, normally we give undue focus on certificates. Okay, how much you know, nobody will ask you. What degrees you possess, that is again there on the agenda. Now the things are changing. UGC is coming up with a lot of, you can say, amendments to even recruitment rule. Okay, earlier there was a criteria that if you want to be a vice chancellor, you have to have a 10 years of professor's experience. Now it is in the process of change, I should say. Okay, so no formal criteria is needed. Anybody who is having, you can say, rather who is capable of handling the university affairs, he or she can be a vice chancellor. So we are opening up, and I personally feel that it is the need of the hour. I'll share one small story with you. When I did my bachelor's from Government Engineering Amravati in 1990, what has happened? 91, 92, I think probably last session again, I don't remember exactly whether I've shared this with you. So we have very strict compartment. Okay, we do not allow people from one particular discipline to enter into somebody else. But if he or she is having knowledge, I don't think that there's any problem. So we have very, you can say, hard boundaries. So we need to break those boundaries. Okay, what is important is how much you know, whether you are able to transform, whether you are able to perform, whether you have the desired skills or not, then you are welcome, right? So undue focus on marks. Let's say if somebody scores, our passing criteria is 40, and if somebody scores 39, we declare he or she has failed in that particular examination. Do you feel that it is justified? The answer is a big no. Why? Because let's say, and that's why if you look at the, you can say, the examination patterns of all premier institutions like say IIT, NITs and so on, they do not have fixed passing criteria. They leave it to the professor. The professor will decide based on the difficulty level, because he knows better than anybody that is what is the difficulty level of that question paper, whatever he or she has set, right? So he may even decide the passing criteria as 20%, okay, or he may increase up to 60. Okay, so it is up to him to decide, right? So on the parallel line, we need to have mechanisms, right? You are autonomous, you can make changes. right? You can incorporate this sort of thing. Lack of qualitative feedback. Again, we are very afraid of feedback. Now, AICTE has mandated it. That is, we have to have a 360-degree feedback. Why it is so? Because it is important, right? The only way of improving your process is through feedback only. So many times you get very fantastic suggestions, and if you can incorporate those things in your system, definitely you can get better results. Lack of assessment of high level outcomes. Now, this is what I am referring to, the Bloom's taxonomy. We struggle at 3, 4 level, 5, 6 are most of the time missing. Lack of assessment of complex outcomes. Negligible assessment in psychomotor affective domain. Okay, that is again ignored. See, repeatedly, I'm telling you, right? Work-based learning is used for assessing theory. We claim that we have a practicals for that, but if you look at the execution of practicals examination, okay, you will find that there are a lot of flaws. Okay, we do not involve. You can say we do not have any third-party assessment. What is wrong in say adopting, that is asking industry people to assess our student when it comes to practical examination? You can very well do that, right? Liberal marking. Now, most of the autonomous institution, okay, I'm not criticizing any particular institute, but most of the students, they are going ahead with this sort of approach. Okay, so whenever a student passes, he or she has got a 9 or 9.5 pointer and above. So all are in. If you look at the, you can say the normal distribution. Okay, what they call it as a bell-shaped curve. Okay, not more than 10% must be in A plus. But what is happening? 80% in A and 10% in A plus. There are no failures. Okay, to be very frank, right? So we are compromising some way or the other. Lack of assessment culture and language of assessment. Now, here we have rather the NEP has proposed a lot of changes, right? Even if you write your answer, you will find in the years to come that even writing in Hindi or Marathi will be accepted, right? That is why that three language formula is there. So language is not a barrier, right? So that is, again, we are working on that, and over a period of time we have problems. Okay, definitely we are facing problems because we don't have you can say the study material available in those local languages and so on. But over a period of time it will definitely evolve and we will address all those issues. So what is wrong in, let's say, if the student knows what is wrong in writing Marathi or Hindi, okay, we should accept it, because I very well know I am a student of up to 10th. My schooling was in Urdu medium, right? So why I'm saying so, because language is you can learn quite easily. It's not at all difficult. The only thing is that the skills, right, the knowledge, that is important. So we give, many times we give undue. Let's say if somebody talks in English, we get attracted. Okay, that is again absolutely wrong. Okay. Now, having said this, we will just try to move ahead with what is assessment and evaluation, right? So, assessment is an ongoing process aimed at understanding and improving a student learning. And what is evaluation? It is judgment or determination of quality, product, or use of a process against a standard. So if you remember, I think while defining learning, I've called it as a as a process as well as a product. Now I'm using those terms here, right? Rather, it is being used. So when your student passed out and when they work for some organization, there they are evaluated because they have certain set standards. Again, those standards they map, and then again they claim that, well, the student from IIT Bombay, when it comes to computer science, they are best in the world, right? So this is how it happens, right? Whereas assessment is what do you do in your, you can say, the 4-year process. Okay, whatever examination, um, PA test, okay, end semester examination, whatever you conduct, that is your basically the assessment, right? So having said this, which assessment method you need to adopt? Again, one has to understand this. Okay, so which assessment process? Okay, before moving ahead, okay, we need to understand. We take this particular task very easily. Again, I will tell you, I am a teacher, hardcore teacher. I am into teaching from 1990, maybe around 35 odd years I have spent in. So I know every bit of it. That is, how do we approach when it comes to setting a question paper? So But if you look at this, that is, cooking is easy, but washing the utensil is difficult. Okay, the ladies staff member will definitely appreciate my comment, right? So on the similar line, lecturing in easy, that is delivering the stuff in the class is easy, but conducting assessment is okay. Let's say if you want to set a question paper, okay, 1 or 2 hour is not at all enough. But normally most of us, we give not more than 1 or 2 hour for setting up paper, right? This is in general. Okay, don't get hurted. Okay, my intention is to not to hurt anybody, but this is the reality, ground reality. So not all students own the responsibility for their learning, but given the competing pressure on students and time in digital, most successful learners focus on what will be examined and how they can most effectively meet the assessment requirement. So again, our if you look at the all the examinations, right? Our objective is to score maximum, because again we are uh, this is what is there in our system, right? So therefore decision about methods of assessment will in most contexts be fundamental to building an effective learning environment. So that's why this last component of any teaching model, which is assessment, is of prime importance, right? And as I said, that is even the you can say the regulating bodies like UGC and AICT, they are taking up these things very seriously. Now, Parak has been made compulsory for all, right? So you have to have, you need to register your students, all those, because see, the problem is we when, unless and until it is made compulsory, okay, we do not adopt it. Okay, we do not adopt it. And that's why I maybe a little bit bold in saying that this is how our system works, right? So we have to have that danda kind of approach, then and then we follow certain things, right? So having said this, what is tea? I have promised you to offer tea in between, right? So the tea is coming up for you. It is technology enabled assessment, right? T stands for technology enabled assessment. So how we can incorporate or encompass the use of computers to deliver, mark, assess, and analyze assessments or assessment or examination. So earlier there were some problems. Okay, most of the, you can say, let's say the tools, they were having only limited functionalities. That is, only you can set MCQ or true or false type of question. But nowadays, almost all the tools, they are equipped with not only with MCQ, match the following, true or false, or to put it in simple word, maybe let's say the objective testing. Okay, okay. What is subjective assessment? Where faculty intervention is required. So we were not having features of for subjective assessment. Now the short answer type facility is almost there in almost all the tools. Okay, so you can make use of those things, right? So it is not only for objective, it is for subjective as well. Okay, so T helps us in enable, you can say, submission assignment on time. Okay, you may be using, I'm not aware, but you must be having your own LMS or maybe some or the other software you must be using. So it helps you to even detection of plagiarism and to promote collaborative work, right? What is diagnostic assessment? Okay, to understand exactly where the learners stand. Okay, if you want to identify what is wrong, where it is wrong, right, you need to go for a diagnostic assessment. And there is one more assessment, what they call it as summative assessment, that is contributing to the final course, right? So having said this, is one more category is the integrative assessment, wherein the activities on digital devices, okay, you can make use of those things, and you can very well go ahead with what they call it as the integrative assessment, right? So having said this, that is, we have talked about what is diagnostic, formative, summative, feedback, project work laboratory, collaborative learning assessment, and so on, right? We have some or the other tool available. Some of them you must be using. Okay, some of them, so you need to here, at least you need to interact, but whatever way or means you are comfortable with, that is either you can put it in chat box or you can unmute yourself. So I'll skip those types of tools, and we will go ahead with what you have not seen. Okay, what you have not seen, because here onwards what I'll do, I'll demonstrate some of the tools, right? I'll demonstrate not to their fullest extent, but some basic features, preliminary features, so that you can have a feel of it. That is the only philosophy, right? Again, it is laid down in the NEP 2020. See, the beauty of this NEP 2020 orientation sensitization is all the meetings are being recorded. Everything is through the portal. You must have registered on the portal. So all these stuff, whatever I am talking, okay, I am not allowed to deviate. So theme they have given, I can change maybe the tools a little bit here and there. That is in my hand. But the thematic area, that's why I have covered some theoretical aspect. Okay, and now we'll be moving ahead with certain tools. So you can give me your responses. Google Form, hopefully all of you must be using it. Okay, so we'll not have a look at Google Forms, but hot potatoes, clickers, ClassKick. Okay, then you have once again for formative assessment, you have got ClassKick, potatoes, hot potatoes is there, formative, even answer garden is there, which one can use for what should I say, feedback, feedback kind of thing, right? So we can have a look at these tools. Okay. Then summative assessment, hot potatoes is there. Hot potatoes is appearing a number of times. So what I personally feel, if you have not seen this particular tool, we will have some hands-on on this tool. Okay, this is again a very standard tool, and it is a freeware. The beauty of this tool is it is completely free. It is built on FOSS philosophy, that is free and open source software philosophy. I hope you are all from technical institutions, so you must be aware about that. Again, there are licensing under POS, but free BSD and all, but that is none of our interest. Okay, since it is freely available, we can download it and we can start using it, right? So having said this, we need to understand this is the last but one topic which I have promised you while going through the learning objectives as far as today's session is concerned. This is the last, you can say the topic is the SAMR model. So what is a SAMR model? It was developed by Dr. Rubin. Okay? Developed by Dr. Rubin. It is a framework for examining how technology is adapted in a classroom. Okay, that is which particular tool is the standard tool or not. Okay, so you can very well decide upon that just based on this SAMR criteria. Okay, and what is that SAMR criteria? Each word in this SAMR stands for something or the other. So S stands for substitution. If the students can fill out the forms online, let us apply this to Google Form. Okay, and just try to find out whether it satisfies the SAMR criteria or not. So substitution, student can fill out the forms online instead of using paper and pen. Augmentation, teachers can curate the students' responses on the spreadsheet automatically. Okay, so moreover, that is again there, okay, rather very much there in Google Form. The absent student also can complete the Google Form out of school, okay, anywhere, anytime, as per their convenience. Teachers can design self-grading quizzes that offer students instant feedback. Again, that is there, right? The third criteria is the modification. Teachers and students can collaboratively analyze, contrast, and compare results immediately after individuals fill out the form. Okay, that facility is again there. Redefinition, teachers can reach unlimited learners. Okay, anywhere, anytime. Okay, so your premises boundaries. Okay, if you have certain things which you feel really good or worth sharing, you can share it with the rest of the world. So teachers can do this. Facilities once again there in Google Forms. So in short, we can conclude that Google Form is a standard tool because it satisfies the SAMR criteria. So based on this, whatever tools I'll be discussing, they are all satisfy the SAMR criteria, right? That one has to understand, right? Having said this, hot potatoes, okay, it is as I've told you that it is a freeware. It is a bundle of tool. Okay, each utility is meant for a specific purpose. For example, JQuiz for designing the quizzes, JClose for filling the blanks, JCross for creating a crossword kind of a question, JMatch is for match the following sort of exercise, JMix for jumbled sentence exercise. And at the end, you have, let's say, if you have created 5 different exercises using above 5 modules, you can combine them into one single unit with the help of a masher. So you have a masher at the end. So masher can be used for creating one single unit out of, let's say, whatever exercises you have created, right? So this, hopefully, if you have not heard of, then definitely we'll have some hands-on. It will not require more than 5 to 10 minutes, but we'll have some hands-on on this. Okay. Some of the utilities I will show you directly. Okay. These are some of the screenshot. That is how you can create a quiz. A very handy tool, very small utility. You can download it. You can start using it. And then later on, you can share it with your student community on your maybe intranet or maybe your Google Form, Google Classroom, Google Classroom. You can again share it with the student, right? So this is JClose. This is a crossword created by, these are all screenshot, but we will have a hands-on on this. This is match the following exercise. Okay. This is jumbled word sentence. Okay, wherein you can ask the student to organize in the appropriate order and so on. Now, having said this, what are the key takeaways as far as today's session is concerned? That is, do not live by these domains or walk around asking yourself at what level you are performing. So you need to identify, okay, where you are working, at which level, I intend to say. But now and then evaluate yourself to what level, that is, in which you tend to function, right? So you need to identify where you are and what is expected, right? So always try, uh, take some efforts to function at the higher level after mastering the knowledge. So we are not saying that knowledge is not important. Knowledge is very much important, but at the same time, applying that knowledge is equally important, right? So with this note, I'll conclude the, you can say, the theoretical uh, part of my deliberation. Now we'll start with some, you can say, the hands-on on some of these tools. Right? But before that, I'll take a break for a minute or so. But by that time, let's say if you have any queries, okay, you can fire it so that we can have some discussion on whatever I have covered. Joshi sir, then Satpal Singh Rajput sir is there. I think
Yes, yes, sir.
Sarika Sawant madam is there. Any specific query you want me to, let's say? Okay,
Uh,
yeah. Yes, sir.
no, sir, no queries. The session is very interactive, very elaborative.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let us move ahead with some hands-on on some of the tools. But as I said, that I would love to hear that whether you have heard about this hot potatoes or you are already using it. Then I'll skip those tools. Okay, so I would love to know your comments on that. Okay, and then we will go ahead with the demonstration of some of the tools. So because we have limited time, so we will restrict ourselves to, yeah. I think probably my system is, and I need to rejoin the. Okay, so give me a minute. Okay, something has. I don't know what has happened. My system is, and
Sir, Control Alt Delete.
that is what ultimately I'll try. Okay.
End task.
Yes, yes,
Yes, sir.
I'm trying that. Okay, but let me know whether now. Yeah. Okay. Okay, it worked. All right. So where were we? I think I need to switch off my. Yeah. I hope my entire screen is visible to you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So shall I move ahead with? Uh, shall I move ahead with? You tell me. Hot potatoes. Yeah. All right. All right. See, the idea is to simply expose you. Okay. There's no, you can say, the rocket science involved here, right? But you can feel the heat. That is what I am trying to emphasize. Okay. And it is there as per the NEP 2020 guideline. So there are tools. There are very many tools. Okay. We will have a look at some of the tools starting from for assessment purpose typically. Okay. The very first one, as I've told you, is the hot potatoes. So let's say if you are not conversant with this, okay, what you can do, you can Google it. Okay, simply say what 7.0 is the latest version. Okay, download it. Okay, so this is the, you can say, the very first link you will find. The idea behind showing this is, oh, so this is the URL, right? hotpot.uvic.ca. Okay, you can go to this directly and then go for the download, and you can very well download it. I'll not show you how to download and so on, but once you download it, go to this download section. Okay, this is the version I am talking about. I hope my entire screen is visible to you, right? So
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
okay, so once you download it, okay, then you install it. It will ask you some basic question. Okay, nothing like that. Okay, and then you can start using it. Since I have downloaded it, I'll directly show you how it works. Right. So as I said, it is. Okay. Yeah. This is the application which I have installed on my machine. I'm running it. Okay. So these are the various 7 different tools. Okay. These are the, sorry, 5 different tools, and this is the masher. I hope you can see it, right? So, oh, what has happened? Yeah. So they are all similar in nature. Okay. Let's try to create a quiz or a crossword or something like that. Okay. So simply click on, let's say, quiz. Moment you click on quiz, okay, something like this will appear. You can give the title, whatever you feel appropriate. Okay. And then this is exercise 1. Okay. Here you can type the question. Right. Now, if you look at this right-hand side, you have various possibilities here. That is what I was talking about. Earlier, we were having some limitations like only MCQ or maybe you can say the true and false, something like that. But now here you have a bundle of things. That is, you can even set a short answer or a hybrid or a multi-select option. Right. Now, let us make it simple. Okay, make it, let's say, MCQ. Okay, 1995. 2000, 2025, okay, 2024. Okay. Now, whatever is the let's say this is the correct answer, 1995. Simply click on that. Okay. So that will be marked as the correct answer, or otherwise you can through this drop down you can have short answer or hybrid or maybe a multi select. Let's say there are two options which are correct, so you can do it accordingly as per your need. Once you have done this is one question. The beauty of this is you can create a question bank. There is no limit as far as the number of questions are concerned. I hope I'm with you. I'm not. Yeah. Okay. I'm not able to see the Zoom. Anyway. Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. So all right. Okay. So let us see what other options are there. Okay. So by default, what happens? Let's when you select this type of thing. Okay, you can do lot many things with regard to you can configure this thing. There is a configuration menu. I have right now. I've clicked on that configuration menu. Okay, so you can set a timer. You can set other things as well. Okay, so timer. Let's say you want to select. So you can go for, let's say you can set the timer as set a time limit. Okay, whatever message you wanted to have. I'll demonstrate it for once. Rest of the things, it is for all other utilities, same thing, same functionality is there. Okay, I'm telling you the basic features only. Okay, here you can type whatever message you want to display at the end of the examination. Your time is over or your time is up or whatever, and click on OK. Okay, then again you can change you can say the colors or the appearance by going to this appearance menu. By default, as I have told you, it is black and white with a gray background. You can make certain changes, okay, as per your own need. Okay, you can go for maybe a blue and other combination. Okay, so all these things, that is link color, okay, visited link color, text color, all these things changes can be done quite easily through this dialog box. Okay, let's say go to OK. Then uh, once you have done this, that is you have configured it, you have put certain questions over here. Okay, you need to save it. Okay, so save with a new name or save with some default name. Okay, so let us save it. Extend. Okay, I'm overwriting it. All right. Then you can go for this, that is export to create hot potatoes version 7. Okay. Once again, it will ask you to save it. Okay. Already exists. I'm overwriting it. Now, you will be prompted with, once you save it, you will be prompted with either you can view the exercise in my browser or you can do nothing. Let us view the exercise in your browser. So this is how the question will look like. This is the timer. Okay, this is very basic functionality I'm telling you. Okay, other things you can do it, rather you can explore it on your own. Let us pick up the right answer. Okay, 1995, your score is 100%, something like that. Right. So this is, what should I say, is a quiz. Okay, this is what is a quiz. Okay, you can have other things as well. Let's say the crossword if you want to create. You can go ahead with this crossword. This is the basic layout for a crossword. One or two I will show you. Rest of the things you can explore it on your own. In case of crossword, you need to go to this manage grid, automatic grid maker. Okay, type various keywords here. Say sister, UK, or maybe trip, and simply click on this make the grid. Okay, then after creating this grid, okay, you need to add some clues. Okay, so you can add clues. So you can say sister, okay, female sibling is the clue. All right, or trip, let us say tour. Click on OK. Click on OK. Once you have done this, let us try by default. Okay, we will not. Okay, and now let's view the exercise in your browser. So this is how it will appear. Okay, so female sibling, you can type sister over here. Enter the keys. See the hint is appearing over there, and then similarly you can go ahead with this. That is tour. You can say trip. All right, check the answers and so on. Done. Okay, so this is what is there in the you can say the crossword. Okay, I'm saying no to changes. Okay, let us close it down. Okay, I'll not explore all the others. Okay, you can do it on your own. Okay, as I said, there is no rocket science involved. But this last one we will have a look at, that is masher, how to create a single unit out of the exercise, whatever you have made. Okay, so simply click on masher, you will find something like this. Go to add files. Okay, pick up the desired file, whatever you intend to. Okay, I'm randomly picking up. We may get some random response. Okay, you can pick one by one and say okay, or you can say okay to all. Let us say okay to all, and then if you can see here, you have a button called build unit. Let us build it. Okay, it is giving me, because in the file name I have given some blank spaces. Some file name contains space, that error, but that doesn't make any difference. Okay, let us move ahead with, would you like to view the unit now? Say yes. Okay, so as I said, we will get some random response. Otherwise, all those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 exercises will appear here. Now this is all about you can say the first tool in our what should I say, the assessment tool. Let me close down all these. Okay. Now, the only reason behind showing this particular tool as the first one is it is completely free. You need not have to pay a single pie for it. Okay. Now, on the parallel line, you have lot of tools. There are thousands of tools. One or two I will demonstrate. So there is a tool called Socrative. Okay. In case of Socrative, what you need to do is you need to simply Google it. Okay, first time user, you need to register. There is a small registration page, and once you are through with that step, okay, you can use it. It is again very beautiful tool. It is completely online. In this case, I have registered with my login ID and password. Okay, this is so there are two console when it comes to I can say there are two console. One is the Socrative student login, and the another one is Socrative teachers login. Let us go to socrative.com. Okay, so as I said, there is a teacher login and there is a student login. It is very parallel to your Google Classroom, but it gives you some additional features. Okay, what are those? Even it allow you to create AI based questions, right? So you simply specify the topic, it will create an exercise for you. That functionality is again there. But the problem with this is that is it is the beta version is free, but let's say if you want to use it to its the fullest extent, you need to subscribe. Okay, some subscription fee is there, but anyway, that is not our motive. And once you create it, you will get something like this. That is Atik 6972 is my classroom ID. Okay. Now, whenever a student wish to log in, you need to simply share this ID with the student. Okay. And through that login ID, he or she can join. Right? Directly, he or she can join. So this is my portal. This is my, you can say, the homepage. Okay. Now, if you look at this, you will find that there is a facility for quiz. Okay. Then you have multiple choice question, true and false, short answer, and so on. Right. Apart from that, as I said, that is, you have library, you have discovered. Library will contain all the quizzes you have created. As I said, this is the quiz which I have created, or rather the exercise which I have created with AI functionality. But now what has happened, it allows you to create at the max 5 quizzes or 5 exercises. Once you are done with that, it will not allow you. It will ask you to upgrade. As you can see here, it is asking me to upgrade because I have exhausted my all free. So you need to go for what they call it as a pro version. Okay, let us, if you want to launch exercise, you need to go to this launch button. Okay, moment you click on launch, okay, the exercise is basically launched. Now you have live results coming up here. Now let's say if any one of you wish to log in as a student, okay, you can very well do that. Simply, let's say if you are on a PC or a desktop, you can say Socrative student login, because let's say if I try to log in as a student from this machine itself, my teacher's login will be automatically logged out. Okay, but for the demonstration purpose, you can see here, I have logged in. Okay, and this is my, as I said, that is for a student, they need not have to register even. Okay, you need to share this, your classroom ID, that is Atik 6972 in this case. Join whatever exercise you have launched. Now, I am giving my name over here. Okay, let us try to make it 30th April so as to distinguish it. Okay, 2025. Say done. Okay, now as I said, that is, you can have a mix of exercises here, right? So what are the proposed changes in higher education? This is a sort of short answer type. Submit the answer. Okay. Now the beauty of this is it is not only giving you whether the answer is correct or not, but it will give you a, you can say, explanation as well. So the 3 language formula, which language? Now I am having MCQ. Okay, earlier it was a short answer type. This is a MCQ. Let us select the correct answer. So it is giving me the explanation as well. That is, NEP has adopted whatever it is, right? So once again, this is what I have created with the AI functionality, right? So that is again possible here. So 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4, I hopefully everybody is now well acquainted with this. This is the formula which has been proposed in NEP 2020. Yeah. So let us try to commit some mistake. Okay, it will give you, right? And once you are done, you can go to your teacher login once again. Okay. Now here you will find your responses. As I've told you that it will be logged out. Again, I need to sign in. Okay. Now let us go to my live. A live result. So it's somewhere you will find that 30th April responses. Okay. All right. So this is how it works, right? This is where, this is what we have entered just now. Oh, again, you have lot many facilities here. You can generate reports. You can create additional rooms, but by it allows you free only one room. But if you want to create more rooms, you need to pay for it. Okay, so you can click on this Get Pro to see the subscription rate. Okay, this is what is there in the free version 0.0, but 10.0, which is essential. okay, along with the features, all right, and what is the validity and so on, right? So this is the second tool, okay. Now, Socrative and this thing we have done. Okay, you can try something on what should I say? Even let's say for assessment purpose, there is again a tool called Basket. Right. So this is another tool. What is called as the class kick. Again, it is SAMR satisfied tool. You can very well adapt it. Okay. You can create an assignment by I have you need to again register for this. Okay. After registration, okay, you will get something like this. You can create a new assignment by simply clicking on this button. Okay, wherein you have a lot of features. Okay, it is completely free. Create from BMP or JF, JPG, PNG file or browse assignment library, create a folder, or you can import from a Google Drive directly, right? If you have created something over there and you want to import it, that facility is again there. So again, you can create it, you can assign it to your student, and you can have various things over here. Shared assignment, okay, rosters and co-teachers, okay. You can invite teachers. So for institute, you can create a admin account and then gradually you can populate it with the relevant data, and then teachers can again create these students and so on, right? So this is class kick, okay. This is class kick, and we will explore one tool which is very handy, but it is not with regard to assessment, but it is with regard to, let's say, if you are teaching a particular topic wherein you feel that certain things which requires a little bit more explanation, or they are difficult to explain with the help of a chalkboard kind of thing. So you can go through this. Is, see, to your surprise, if you look at the URL, this is ccl.northeastern.edu. It is an educational website, okay, some academic project which has grown up in such a way that people are using it. Again, it is built on free and open source philosophy, right? So you can very well use it. Simply type net logo. Okay, it will take you to this ccl.northeastern.edu. Go to library. You have a number of models. Say I am a man from computer science. Let's say I am teaching what should I say, operating system. Okay, wherein we have a problem called dining philosophers problem. Okay, yeah. So you have models for everything. It is not merely for computer science. It is for physics, chemistry, arts, humanities, and whatnot. Okay, let us try to look at this dining philosophers problem. So when you teach OS, interprocess communication synchronization, okay, it is a bit difficult to explain this with the help of chalk and board, right? So you can very well make use of this handy, I should say, simulation tool, okay, wherein the model has already been built. Okay, now there are two possibilities here. You can run this in a web logo, okay, net logo web, or you can download it. See, the beauty of this is that is you can download the entire code, you can modify it as per your own need. And again, let's say if you submit it to the, you can say, the net logo community, and if they accept that your model is worth enough to be considered, okay, they may adopt it, okay, and it will be published on this net logo portal with your credentials, something like that. So let us run it on a net logo web, okay. This is what you can say. Let's say if you are completely new, it gives you complete documentation, net logo code is there, model information is there, that is how to use it, and so on. Okay, let us try to configure it. So go to setup. Okay, now it will ask you certain parameters. Okay, those who are well acquainted, again, you can change these values. Okay, let's say number of plus words, right now it is 20, I can make it 30 or 26. Okay, and go to this go button or go once. Okay, now what is happening, it is actually demonstrating along with the graphical representation. If you can see on the left hand side how the resources are being allocated, it is basically sharing of resources, right, amongst arbitrary number of users. So you have limited computing resources and so on. Those who are from computer science, they must be well acquainted with this, right? So you can use it as a complementary tool for teaching. Okay, so student can learn a lot of things with the help of this small handy tool. Okay, there is a model for even artificial neural network. That is how the learning takes place, how the weights are being normalized. So you can explore all those things, right? So this is all about net logo. Okay, then okay, as I said, that is the beauty of this is you have a command center. Okay, apart from that command center, you have this code, entire code, which you can download. Okay, and you can play with it. Rather, your student can play with it, right? So you can ask them to modify it. Okay, give certain assignment based on that. Okay, and it is really a fun having working on these models, right? So this is all about net logo, right? Then there are, I don't know, Professor Sharma has touched upon certain tools because he was supposed to talk on some research tools. Research library he must have covered, but I'm not aware whether he has covered certain things. Like this is what Parak I was talking about. That is, you need to register as a faculty. It is now mandated, right? Even your AICT approval letter will be put on hold. Let's say if you do not adopt this. Okay, it is happening. Okay, our institution, we got a email in this regard, right? Right. I am just showing you that is what is the scenario. Okay, there is no other reason. That is adaptation of this is again mandated by AICT. Okay. Oh no. It is asking me to. All right. So there we are. That is, you have to essentially create this. Okay, faculty details, and then assign assessment. You need to even onboard your student, right? This is my dashboard. Right now it is blank, right? But you need to populate it. It is mandated by AICTE. The idea behind showing this is you have to adapt it, right? If you do not, even it is there is a self-assessment for faculties, right? That is again there. Okay, so for a period of time we have to adopt this particular Parak portal, okay, for assessment purpose. Okay, let us log out. There is nothing to show in that case. Okay, then we have certain tools. I don't know whether Mr. Sharma has talked about on this connected papers. Okay, he must have talked about on Research Rabbit. So Research Rabbit is very similar to connected papers. You can use it for your you can say literature survey and so on. But again, consensus is there and illicit is there, right? So let us have a look at this illicit. Okay, illicit is one can use for analysis of various papers. Okay, many times when we carry out we can say the literature review. Okay, we it is expected that most of the time our supervisor they say, "Okay, you go for critical analysis of the papers. Okay, so in that case, Elicit is very handy and helpful tool. Again, it is not, you can say, very, uh, you can say, very handy tool. Okay, but again, it is the basic version is free, but Pro is a paid version. Okay, so how you can use it, that is what I'll show you, just a glimpse of it. Okay, not the entire functionality. So as you can see here, you can search on, you can write the prompt, you are searching for whatever topic, say AI in education and research. Okay, whatever you feel appropriate, then it will give you a number of papers. Okay, you can add those papers, and gradually what you can do, you once you have added those paper, you can add various columns. As you can see here, these are the papers. Okay, this is the abstract, which is, it has extracted from the papers. Now it is capable of even finding out research gaps. Okay, so you can find out, you can make use of this. Okay, as you can see here, it is coming up. So on this right hand panel, you have various possibilities, right? Like add columns, but for free version, it allows you to go for at max 4 column. Okay, that is the limitation. Okay, otherwise you can go for summary, you can go for methodology. It is asking me to upgrade everywhere. Okay, whenever they are all uh, disabled, right? Intervention effect, limitation, and whatnot. Okay, so this is again a very important tool. Then we have another tool for research is what they call it as consensus, right? So this is consensus. This is consensus once again. Okay. Once again, you need to register, and then here you can type your prompt. Okay, it will give you the appropriate responses. Okay. Then you can make use of this for the analysis. You can ask certain questions, prompt. Okay, and you can very well go ahead with this. Right. So I think these are some of the tools, okay, which I wanted to demonstrate. I hope my screen is visible to you. Hello? Yeah, let me switch on my camera. Let's see whether it works. Yeah. So there we are. Okay. Let us move ahead with okay, class kick, net logo, these things. I think I've shown you the glimpse of this. And let us try to, yeah. Oh, Parak again, I think we have finished. This is again very relevant and important to you. That is, I don't know how many of you are using GitHub. Okay, so GitHub Classroom is again there. Okay, which you can use for, and this is very, you can say, very professional tool, I should say. Okay, the student must adapt to it. Okay, let's say if they have a very good GitHub profile, many times they get job opportunities using this GitHub profile as well. Right, but being a teacher, again, you can compel them to join this particular uh, platform. Okay, it's a full-fledged platform. Okay, for educational purpose, it is free. That is, educational institution, they identify your credentials. Now, this is a little bit cumbersome in a sense. Once you register, okay, they will ask you to upload your college ID and so on. Okay, even your official mail is essentially needed in this case. Okay, and once you register, it will take 2 or 3 days for verification, and once you get registration, okay, you get something like this. Okay, wherein you can very well use this classroom. Okay, so I've created an organization wherein the Department of Computer Science is there. Okay, and then classroom you can create, and you can do all this. So this is typically for computer science student. Okay, so you can even create the starter code environment. Okay, you can grading and feedback. All those features are there, right? So you can ask student to adapt to this GitHub platform, right? That is again very important from their career point of view, right? Now, having said this, let us go to few more things. That is, one is the LM Studio, right? It is a large language model studio, right? LM Studio. Normally, we go for what we used to call it as chat GPT or something like that. Okay. Instead of working on a cloud, okay, you never know what is happening to your data. Okay, how your credentials or APIs are getting modified and how they are being manipulated, right? Because the servers are not in your hand. So it is better to, let's say, if you are new to this AI and you wish to adapt to this changing world, okay, what you can do, you can very well download this LM Studio. Okay, again, it is freely downloadable. Okay, LM Studio .ai is the URL. Okay, you need to register. You will be given an mail will be fired to your mail ID, and then you can download it. So I have downloaded it. I'll show you that is how it works. That is, this is the LM Studio, but this is very resource hungry. Okay, you require a lot of memory and space for that, right? So but you can see the performance, that is LM Studio, and then you can populate it with various models, large language models. Okay, for example, as you can see here, okay, then you can download it. Oh, sorry, you can go to this drop down list and you can very well see that is what are the various models. So right now I have downloaded only these two models. Okay, Llama 3.2 and Gamma 2, right? So you can use it. The advantage of having this kind of thing is your date, whatever queries you will fire or whatever prompt you will write, that will be on your local machine. Okay, so you will be in safe, what I intend to say. If you are doing some critical activity, okay, it is better to download it and use it. That is the only objective, right? So Llama 3.2 is there, and then this Gamma 2. This is, again, you can add on all those models as per your need. So large language model can be downloaded on your local machine, but you have to have this LM Studio installed on your machine. Then and then you can add up on those things. So it is a framework within which all these models can work, right? Having said this, I think I have promised you that we will have something on robotic process automation, right? Robotic process automation. So I'm getting some warnings. So let me switch off my camera, switch off all these tabs. Connected papers is again give you a graphical presentation and all, right? So, yes. All right. So you allow me to switch off my camera for some time. All right. So this is the last one which I wanted to show you is the, and I think probably within, I don't know how much time is there. Yeah, it's 4 o'clock. All right. So we have around 20-30 minutes. Okay, let us try to explore this. Okay. What is it? It is a UI Path Studio, right? So this is, as a matter of fact, it is a robotic process automation tool. Okay. So there are many tools. There are many tools like, say, we have tools like Blue Prism is there. Okay. Then Pega is there. Then Work Fusion is there. And so there are a number of tools, RPA tools. But we will be going ahead with UiPath. There is a reason for that. Because UiPath is the only tool which allows you to download the free version. Okay. And definitely it has certain limitation, but for a beginner, there is nothing wrong. Okay. You can very well work with this particular tool. Okay. So as the name suggests, that is, there are three components of this. One is the robotic. RPA stands for robotic, then you have process, and then you have automation. Let us try to understand these three one by one. So what is robotic? It is basically an entity. Whenever we say robo, the very first things come to our mind is some you can say a robo, physical robo. But in this case, since we are developing, you can say the software models, okay. So it is an entity which has the capability to mimic human behavior. So how a robo, you can assign a task to a robo in a manufacturing firm. On the similar line, you can assign a task to a robo for the development of the program or the utility or the system you intend to develop, right? So it is robotic stands robot stands for the mimicking human behavior or actions, okay. And then you have a process. So what is a process? It is a sequence of steps that link to a meaningful activity or task, okay. So maybe process moment I say process, I may be having activity 1, activity 2, activity 3, and so on. Okay, and then the third component is the automation, that is doing task without human intervention. So this is important, right? So that's why they are called as the RPA tool, that is robotic process automation tool. Okay, so you can automate any activity by using these tool. What you need to go to, as I said, the community part is readily available. So simply go to UI path, okay, UI path, and then okay, then you are getting try UI path for free. Okay. So simply click on this, okay. Simply say accept and continue. All right. So create your UiPath account. You need to supply your email ID and so on. Okay. But what I'm trying to emphasize here is you can download a community version of this free of cost. Okay. This process I will not show you because it is not that difficult, right? So once you download it, you will get a executable file which you can double click and install it. Okay. Since I've installed it on my machine, okay, I'll directly show you the once you double click on that UiPath Studio, how it looks like. So community version can be downloaded free of cost, and that is the only reason of picking tool as against the Blue Prism or Pega or Automation Anywhere or Work Fusion and so on, right? So now it is being loaded. It is being loaded. Now, once you load it, okay, you get something like this. Okay, so you have got some tutorials as well and the academy and whatnot. Okay, so you can simply check box this. Do not show me this again. Close it. Okay. Now here you can see that is on the left hand side, you have this is the UiPath Studio. Okay. So you have on left hand side, this is my first project. Okay. Let's say open a local project, or you can clone or check out. Okay. And then so many things are there here, right? So opening some existing project, we will open something. Okay. On the right hand side, you have process, library, test automation, and some ready-made templates are again there. Okay. So alternate automation framework, background process, long process, mobile testing, robotic enterprise. So you can build application by simply dragging and dropping. Okay. By simply drag and drop. Okay. You can put the things in place and you can run the code. It will generate the code on its own. Okay. And it will show you everything in a single go. You can run it and you can observe the result, and then even you can publish it. So as a matter of fact, there are a few important concepts you need to remember as far as this is concerned. That is how to install it. uipath.com/community. Okay. If you put this URL, it will take you to directly the download area. Okay, wherein you have to supply your email ID, you get some confirmation mail, and after that you can download it. Once you download it, you get, let's say, if you click on this start. Okay, so you have tools on the left hand side, templates are there, team is there, then settings and help is there, right? On the right hand side you have once again a number of things over here. Okay, you can have more templates. Okay, this is the transactional process, task and whatnot. So it is very powerful and very handy tool. Some of the key concept one has to understand is the activities. Okay, what is an activity? It is basically any smallest task. Okay, for clicking the right button. Maybe you are clicking a left or right button, or you are pressing any particular key, that you may call it as an activity. Then sequence is there, as you can see here, right? So let us go to this. Yeah, now I have created one project already. So this is what I was talking about. These are the activities. Okay, so you have activities, project, and so on. Okay, so this is a simple project which I have created, let's say, wherein I want to welcome. There is a dialog box and the message box. Yeah, even you can store those values in some variable as well. So you have activities. Now, what are activities? As I said, it is the smallest task. For example, clicking the right button or any other key. Sequence. What is sequence? As you can see here, this is the sequence which I have taken up. Now, let's say you want to search out something, you can type here and you can very well look at that. Okay, so this is the sequence. So either you can double click on that or you can drag and drop it here in the, you can say, the workspace. Okay. So combine activities to lead the meaningful tasks. Okay, that is the sequence. And what are the types of projects? You have various types of project, like say simple process, okay, robotic enterprise framework, and so on. Okay, so then in project, as a matter of fact, you have a cyclic activity, like say start, execution time, execute, and then shutdown state is there. Okay, so it is very similar to, let's say, putting your operating system, putting all the processes in place, then shutting it down, something like that. So UI, let's say, if you look at the components of this UI path platform, okay, you have a UI path studio, right? What is it? It is a tool which enables you to design automation process, right? Then you have again you have two possibilities over here. You can have a cloud version, or you can have a version installed on your desktop. So right now I'm using a desktop because, as I said, the cloud is, again, if you are doing some critical activity for learning purpose, there is no issue. Okay, but it will consume some resources and so on. Okay, then you have a what they call it as this particular area. I hope it is my cursor is visible to you. This is what they call as the UI path ribbon pane. Okay, so wherein even you can record. As you can see here, this is app web recorder. So whatever activities are taking or happening, okay, they can be directly recorded. Okay, using this. Then scrapping is there. User event can be defined. Even the variables can be defined. Right. So and once, let's say you want to run it, you can directly run it. There is a control bar here at the bottom. Okay, you have variables, arguments, and you can import. Import is not very much needed in the beginning, but you can very well define certain variables as we used to define. Okay, so this is all right, and let us try to run this. Okay, let us try to run this. So this is a simple, you can say, the project which you have run. Let's say you want to prompt a dialog box wherein, as you can see here, this is the sequence which I have defined here. Okay. Okay. So the sequence is sequence name, some name, title, everything. Let's say you need to give, and I have posed a text box over there. wherein I'm asking for what is your name. Let us type the name. Oh, right. So welcome to the session. This is the reply. Okay, and so this way you can build. This is the simplest one which I have demonstrated you. But on the right hand side, as you can see here, you can define some variables, arguments which you need to pass to different files and so on. Okay, that can be done in a very handy way. Okay, and define certain constants, cloud resources, even entities. Okay, assets and queues and so on. Right. So this is you can say uh, something which is again very what should I say, handy and useful to you. Yep, handy and useful to you. So you can adapt to this even for building small exercises. Even you can install some extensions. Many times, let's say if you want to catch the data from a website. Okay, so that can again be done, but you need to install various you can say extensions for that. For example, right now I have installed some extension with regard to the even for going on the websites and so on. You need to have some Chrome extension, or let's say if you are using Firefox extension. Okay, and the only thing is that for IE Explorer, Internet Explorer, it does not require any extension, right? But apart from that, even let's say if you are using Edge, again you need to install the extensions, right? So having said this, this is again a very important tool, that is RPA tool, I should say. Okay, which you can explore it on your own, and you may adapt it, you may give it to your students for some experimentation, right? So this is all as far as these tools are concerned. Let us move ahead with other things which is there in the government front. Okay, because we still have uh, 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, so some of the things you must be knowing. For example, I don't know, SWAYAM you must be well acquainted with, but IIT Bombay have started a platform, SWAYAM Prabha. Okay, this is again very, yeah, swayamprabha.gov.in. So this is again very, you can say, when it comes to learning even nowadays, what has happened, that is this NEP 2020, they have made it mandatory to earn some around, earlier it was 20%, now it has been increased to 40% online credit. So this is again very beautiful platform developed by, I think, IIT Bombay. So you can ask your student to use this platform. Then we have other platforms like EPG Pathshala. Right? epgpinflipnet.ac.in. So this is again very strong and powerful platform which can be adopted. Okay. So again, government is very serious about all these platforms. Okay, it may happen that is over a period of time. Now it has been mandated that you need to have a ABC ID for all these students, right? So whatever credits they earn through this platform, like say Swayam Prabha or maybe EPG Pathshala, they will be directly credited to their ABC ID, right? Over a period of time, it will take some time, but it is happening at jet speed. So maybe 1 year down the line, we can expect that we'll have certain things on this front as well, right? So you can ask your student to adapt to this platform. Okay. SWAYAM is again very much there, which is very popular. Then you have various things coming up in various aspects, like say uh, porter is there. Again, you can adapt to this. Okay, let's say, sorry, metatable.ai is there. Okay, so you can explore these tools. Even Google Gemini is there. Copilot is there. Okay, then OpenAI platform is again there, which you can explore it and ask your student to explore. Okay, even metatable is there. Okay, this is all from my end, right? All from my end. If there are any queries, you can fire it now. Hello. Let me stop sharing. Intentionally, I have kept this. There are around 20 to 52 odd participants. Good. Well, anyway, if you have any queries with whatever we have covered in today's session, okay, intentionally I have kept 10-15 minutes for the discussion. You are all from a technical institution, right? Maybe some of you are more conversant than me, but as it was mandated in the NEP 2020 guideline, okay, we are discussing all these tools. Okay. Yes, any one of you, if you have any query, you can fire it. First of all, let me know whether you people are with me or not.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Can we have some discussion on whatever we have covered? What are your opinion about
The
this?
tools,
Whether
yes, sir. The tools
yes,
which you conveyed today, sir, that these are
yes,
very important and these are very helpful to us for our academics. Thanks
yes.
for this, sir.
Apart from that, whether you feel that being a teacher, we need to adapt to these technologies and so on.
Definitely.
Technical people normally they are not reluctant, and this question is little bit irrelevant. But when it comes to arts and humanities, normally I have faced a lot of criticism from the participant. They say, "Okay, sir, you are talking about something which has been what should I say, designed sitting in air conditioner rooms." But the ground realities are altogether different. But I don't think that the same case will apply to your case, because you are from a premier institute, and that to a technical institution, right?
Actually, sir.
So
Actually, and
adaptation,
yes, we
yeah,
all need to adopt such kind of technologies.
yes, yes, yes. So I feel that all of you will agree with me that at least adaptation of this technology is very much needed, right? Apart from this, I have shared one stuff. Actually, the idea behind, if you look at the very first session itself, which was delivered by Dr. Marathe sir, our approach is actually we expect that you should go through the stuff, whatever is being shared. Okay, it was a flipped classroom kind of a approach, wherein everything will not be covered in the session, but at least some material will be shared with you. So I have shared one paper with you, you remember, and that is why I have kept this 10 to 15 minutes for discussion on that. The paper was, I don't know whether you people have gone through it, but it was on AI in education, right? Now, if you go through the contents, okay, any one of you have you gone through at least have you whether you have a cursory look? I know that you people are overloaded. You must be having your examination going on simultaneously, and the expectations are much more, right? So, but anybody who has at least explored that paper, some cursory look, and what are your comments about that paper? So the day before yesterday, I was talking on that we have to have a right on this regard. That is, somebody has asked that, sir, what is the use of AI in education and research and so on, right? So we can have a lot of deliberation on that, but the that paper is again of 2018, right? And so I would love to know that if somebody has gone through it, if yes, you have any critical comments, okay, I'll be happy to listen. Hello. Or the other way around, let's say, very nice session, sir. Sir, we have a separate feedback session, right? After this session will be over within 10-15 minutes. Then I think at 4:30 we'll have a separate session. Feedback will be there. But I was talking about the paper. Have you really gone through it? If not, I request all of you to please go through it. Okay? That paper is basically, any one of you would like to comment on that? What is it? It is a national strategy for AI. AI for all is the title, right? It is a big stuff, okay, comprising of 115 pages. But I know that it is a bit difficult. But whenever you get some time, I request all of you to at least go through the executive summary and other stuff, whatever is there. Okay? But what do you feel? To what extent the use of AI should be allowed? I'm See, this UI path I have shown you, that is wherein you can automate any process, okay, by click, I should say. Okay, so there is no, you don't require a lot of, okay, for creating a diagram. Okay. And globally, what is happening, there are many things which are happening at jet speed, and that's why many times it is also called as the disruptive technology. So this is another kind of disruption which is taking. Live with it. We have to live with it. There is no option. You cannot say no. Yeah, but you can regulate it. Now, what do you feel? How it is to be regulated? Okay, where the be allowed and so on. जोशी सर कुछ बताएंगे मुझे लगता है. Let me see. Yeah,
Missed out some of the parts, sir.
you
Sorry.
have missed some
Yes, sir.
right now.
Right now, sir.
Acha. No, I am talking about the paper which I have shared with you. Okay.
Yes.
So, what is your opinion? Whether use of AI should be allowed in education and research, or whether we need to regulate it, or what is it?
It should be
In general.
general terms. I need to talk on this, sir. AI should be allowed in academics as well as in research.
Okay.
That will be helpful to us to
Mm-hmm.
strengthen our knowledge, to gain some of the knowledge from such kind of AI tools, to explore more on this, sir.
Okay. So that is your opinion that it
Yes,
should be
sir.
allowed. Yes, it should be allowed. But there is the other side of the coin, That is, it creates, just I am posing a question. Uh, rather spoils your creative thinking.
Definitely.
Right?
That
है
might
ना?
be the thing, sir. That might be
हाँ.
the thing.
What I personally feel that it should be allowed, but we need to have a very clear-cut guideline. That is, the regulation should be there up to that. Somebody has asked, sir, what figuratively. So we should be able to quantify. That is, up to this extent, this should be allowed, something like that, or we have to have some clear-cut guidelines. है ना? Because we are a nation having around 135 crore, if I am not wrong, right? So we have our own problems, right? We have our own problems, but at the same time, there is a threat to everybody's job. Okay, and you, as you can see, that 40% of your jobs are being rather. In future, what will happen, it may lead to some serious consequences. So you don't require institutions wherein some physical infrastructure is needed, right? So you may be having over a period of time, maybe 10 years down the line, by that time I will not be there in the profession, so I don't have any threat for that. But those who are young, okay, they must take up these things seriously, and they must upskill and reskill themselves. Okay, so that is the only motto behind sharing all these tools, right? And exposing you to the technological development happening at a jet speed, right? So we need to adapt. Okay, we need to change ourselves. We need to change our attitude, because changes are inevitable, right? Changes are inevitable. You cannot say no. Okay, otherwise you must have seen, I don't know how many of you are aware that when the computerization of bank took place, okay, what has happened? That is the core banking era I am talking about. Those who were reluctant to learn, okay, what the banks they asked them to go for a compulsory retirement. Okay, take your bundle of benefit, whatever you want, one time, and settle down. Right. So that kind of scenario is again possible with this is worst case. I'm telling you. I'm not trying to make you afraid of anything, but at the same time, we need to think. Right. We need to think. We need to be a little bit serious. Okay, and we need to adapt to this changing development. Right. और कोई बोलना चाहेगा आप में से? आपके व्यूज खुद के क्या लगता है आपको? अपन सही जा रहे
Sir,
हैं? हाँ,
sir, let
बोलिए.
me share you one thing, sir.
Yes.
In Italy, they banned ChatGPT for 7 weeks
Yes, yes.
when ChatGPT was launched, and they
Mm-hmm.
are saying कि Italy government they are mentioning कि it is what killing the human logical skill sets.
Yes, yes.
This was means that was the major conflict for this AI tools.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. You have rightly pointed out, sir. In UK, on the same line, the school they have banned to use of any kind of tool, particularly school going kids, whatever we say up to 10 plus here, they have a enter kind of thing that is earlier, which was there in our mm, country as well. That is, so they have banned the use of these tools for school going students. है ना? So that is why I'm saying कि भाई we need to define boundaries. है ना सर? आपने बहुत सही बात कही कि it must be curtailed, right? It must be curtailed, right? And if you look at the nations like say China and so on, they even don't allow you to use even Google for searching purposes. They have
Yes,
their own
yes,
search engine.
yes,
है ना?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Why it is so? Because and that, my idea behind showing all this LM model, that is and other tools as well, so that you can use. I think Mohalle sir is there. I would love to hear from you, sir. Parikshit Mohalle sir.
Sir,
Hello.
sir, good afternoon.
Very good afternoon. Very good afternoon.
Yeah, nice to hear you, sir. How are you?
Yes. Fine, sir. Fine, sir. So I would love to
Sir, can
hear
you
your
hear me?
comment as far as this is concerned.
Good, good, good.
What do you feel? What is your personal opinion?
Yeah. As everybody knows, AI is entering into every vertical, particularly
Yes.
what I foresee now,
Yeah.
that particularly the role of AI in future, particularly in the education, will be into personalized learning.
Oh,
That is how it is evolving. So I request all the teachers to take a note of this, because now AI should play a role in learning, and that should be also customized learning. We call it as personalized learning.
personalized learning.
Yes, that is
Yes.
what I foresee next 1 decade on the use of AI in education. That
Great.
is coming up really now, and there are more efforts on making all these AI systems more responsible. So these are the 2 points which I wanted to share on this platform.
Yes, yes,
So
yes, sir.
all
You
teachers
have
can
very
take it out.
rightly pointed out, sir. So personalized means it is one-to-one sort of thing, if I am not wrong, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
So that will change the entire scenario, because what is happening, let's say, if you look at the student strength in a classroom, okay, many time it crosses 100. Okay.
Yes,
So if it is one-to-one, okay, personalized, okay, definitely it will change you can say the entire landscape, education landscape. That is what
absolutely.
I, yes, yes.
Absolutely. Because let's take a very simple example. If you take class of 80 students,
Hmm.
all 80 brains are, we cannot evaluate them on the same scale. So
Yes,
the different kinds of inputs are required for the crowd. And unfortunately, being a human, we cannot generalize it and we cannot customize in the class. So the role of AI is going to be very, very crucial in this field in the future.
yes, yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So we are almost done. I think lot of you can say uh, points raised by almost all. Okay, so the bottom or rather the crust of the story is being a teacher, we need to change ourselves. Okay, whether you are running 50 or 55, right? If you want to survive, you need to change. Okay, that is the crust of the story, right? So with this note, we will stop here, and then I think within 2-3 minutes, it's already 56. Okay,
Yeah.
we can have the valedictory function, right?
Yeah. Meanwhile, in next 2-3 minutes, team can set up for the valedictory. We can start at 4:30.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Sheetal
Thank
madam is
you.
there.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll start at 4:30 sharp.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All the participants, please don't leave. Okay, Director Sir is joining in 1-2 minutes. So we'll start. Right.
Madam Sarah joined.
Okay. Welcome all. So Director Sir करायचं start? झाले का sir?
Yes, madam. Yes.
Okay. Joshi sir, you may please start. Joshi sir.
Am I audible now? Yes. Thank you. Thank you for the confirmation. Good evening, everyone. Namaste and warm welcome to all of you. On behalf of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science Department, Vishwakarma Institute of Technology, I, Dr. Rushikesh Joshi, delighted to welcome you for this valedictory session of 10-day NEP orientation session, 10-day NEP orientation and sensitization program conducted in collaboration with Malviya Mission Teacher Training Center UGC, Sant Gadge Baba, Amravati University. We are grateful for your presence. To begin this session, I now invite the driving force behind this. Participants, please mute your mic. To begin this session, I now invite the driving force behind this initiative, Dr. Sheetal Dongre, Madam, Head of the Department of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science at Vishwakarma Institute of Technology, Pune. Madam's leadership, planning, and commitment have been central to the success of this program. Ma'am, over to you.
Okay. Thank you, Joshi sir. Good afternoon all. So respected Director of EIT and our constant motivational source, Dr. Rajesh Janlekar, our esteemed guest, Dr. Mohammad Atik, and all my VIT academician and friends. On behalf of AIDS department and with great pleasure, I am Dr. Sheetal Dongre. Welcome you all in this valedictory function, first of all. And we have experienced this 10 days FDP on NEP 2020 orientation and sensitization program. This FDP is sponsored by UGC Malviya Mission Teacher Training Center, Sant Gadge Baba, Amravati University, Amravati. VIT is the first private autonomous institute of Maharashtra region and awarded as an empowered autonomous status also. Ultimately, we got the first chance to implement this NEP framework in our curriculum. From last 2 years, we are experiencing this NEP 2020 policies in our academics. But to understand complete NEP 2020 policies and to increase the impact of this NEP framework in our curriculum, we have organized this FDP. So we want to understand what is the aim behind every policy and why those policies are developed and what is exactly mentioned in that policy. Total 114 faculties from our VIT campus registered for this FDP. And although faculties were busy in exam conduction and academics, but around 70% faculties regularly attended all the sessions. All the sessions were very knowledgeable and added clarity in our NEP framework policies. We are fortunate enough to get senior experienced NEP policymakers as a speaker from various reputed universities like the Delhi University, Aligarh University, Kalidas Banasthali Vidyapith, Calicut University, even NIT Warangal and IIMs, and the important Amravati University. First day when the session was started by Professor Marathe, who is the formal principal of Amravati University, we find correlation with VIT because in VIT also Professor Marathe, Dean Academics, explain this NEP policies to us. Beside that, we have different experts from different universities. Just to name few, Professor Kumar from Delhi University, Dr. Abbasi, then Professor Agasti, Professor Gupta, Professor Rahman, Dr. Nidhi, then Professor Sabu, and Professor B.V. Apparao, then Professor Suraj Sharma, and one itself Professor Mohammad Atik sir, then Professor Prashant Gupta, R.T. Bedre sir. So we are fortunate enough to get all those experts from different reputed universities for this FDP. After my speech, actually, we'll see some glimpses also of this session. Here I'm grateful to UGC MMTTC Center and especially Dr. Atik and Mr. Ankit for giving all sort of organizing support to VIT, like from creation of brochure to organize sessions of these experienced speakers from reputed universities. Also, all the recording options, all the sessions are actually recorded, so participant can listen all those sessions anytime. Even the YouTube links of those recorded videos are provided by Mr. Ankit. So thank you very much, Atik sir and Ankit, Mr. Ankit. In future also, we'd like to collaborate with you and your university and even the MMTTC to organize such important FDPs in our college. Thank you all my VIT colleague participants for actively participating in this VIT. Thank you, Director sir. Your support always motivates us to organize such a useful FDPs. Thank you, dear all. Thank you.
Thank you, madam, for setting the tone with your insightful words. Let's now take a brief pause to review some key highlights of this wonderful 10-day journey. Just now, ma'am has mentioned about one video. We present a short video montage featuring glimpses of sessions, speaker contributions, and active participation that made this FDP meaningful.
So we have created this video to show you the glimpses of complete FDP.
Audio बोला?
We have covered actually very few photos, just one or two from every session. But the complete recording is available with us. Yes, over to Joshi sir.
Yes, thank you, madam. We are now honored to welcome Dr. Rajesh Jalnekar sir, Honorable Director of Vishwakarma Institute of Technology, Pune, whose visionary leadership has been pivotal in advancing innovative teaching learning practices at our institute. His continued support and encouragement have laid the foundation for initiatives like this FDP. Sir, we request you to kindly unmute and share your words of encouragement with us. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Rishikesh sir. It's my pleasure to be amongst you all today. I think today we have Mr. Mohammad Atiq sir. So welcome, sir, to this event. Namaste. And also Dr. Dongre, madam. I can see Dr. Mahalle also and some other senior staff of VIT, including Dr. Subham Joshi, Jyoti madam, and others. So there are many others and all the delegates. It is very heartening to know that you have all attended this 10-day event on NEP. And education is a very key to anyone's profession, anyone's career, and in that matter, anyone's personal life also. Because the purpose of education is not only to make one's career, which of course is the prime motive, to fetch him a job, to make him employable, to make him job ready. But at the same time, there are other aspects in one's life which one has to formally learn. Apart from engineering and technology and professional career, there are many things. And where a person will learn those, because there is no other formal mechanism to learn them. Many things we think that we can learn just by experience or at our home or through our social circle. Yes, definitely these things can be learned apart from this engineering and technology, but there has to be a formal mechanism. And what is there? That is, the philosophy of life, the purpose of life, the social issues, the knowledge system, the human engineering aspect, and many, many things. So when one takes admission in engineering, one has to understand that he is not only becoming, say, for example, a computer engineer, but first of all, he is going to become an engineer. So those skills, those attitudes, which engineer must imbibe in himself, must also be taught as a formal mechanism, in a formal way. And then we, of course, have computer science, and then specialization in computer science. But apart from that, there are many other things which I mentioned, like the philosophy of life, purpose of life. Engineering is just one thing. Computer engineering is another thing. But philosophy of life, life in general, should be understood. The attitudinal issues should be understood. The social issues should be understood by students. Because that will become a key factor in pursuing his life goals. One may be very excellent in his professional place, but how good he is at his home, how good he is as a part of his social setup, how good he is in cultural sense, in understanding the purpose of life. Otherwise, people take career as all in all, earning money as all in all, reputation and prestige as all in all, the position as all in all. Yes, that may be definitely one of the important purpose, but that's not the only purpose. Such people will become self-centered, exploiters, good for nothing for the society. And the society, in a society, there are many people who needs support, encouragement, and facilitation from a very elite class of people in the society. Because by the grace of God, these elite class, like we all of us, especially those who are becoming engineers, have been graced by the God as chosen ones with all those facilities, including our intellect. And therefore, it's our duty to share it with the others who need us. If you see, especially to India, there are many people who are not able to read and write. There are many people who are not able to get their 2 meals in a day, who needs healthcare, who needs social upliftment. And we cannot turn away from these realities of life in the name of an advanced person in the technological field and work in an IT industry, in an AC room, and work on big projects, turnkey projects, automation, AI-based projects, earn a lot of good money, export those projects, and then don't look at the persons, the people, the citizens in the country who need us. And therefore, an all-round growth, and along with an all-round growth, an all-round vision is important for a person. And that vision, first, the teacher must imbibe in themselves. And then only they can impart to the students, who are the future citizens of this country. A person may go to US to work, but after all, he remains a part of our country because he is born and brought up here. And even if he goes to US, he may have to solve the problems, similar set of problems over there. There the problems are stress, loneliness, too much of hankering, craving for prestige, honor, pride. And therefore we see wars, riots, conflicts, instability, political issues, rapes, murders, thefts, and so on. Why this? Because an individual is not groomed to understand the reality of life, the reality of society, and his growth is only one-dimensional to make a career and earn money and be self-centered. And where they will learn these things? Parents are not always ready to give these to the ward or their child. Like a parent is not competent to give engineering education to his child, or a medical education, or a law education, or a management education, and therefore he sends the child to the colleges. Similarly, a parent may not be always in a position or competent enough to give these aspects to a child, and therefore he sends him to a college. Those who take arts, commerce, sociology, psychology, they may be well groomed in these aspects, and they may not be well trained in engineering aspect, but they are nothing to lose. But an engineering student, if he is only trained in engineering aspect and overlooks other aspects, these other important aspects, whether the parents are teaching, whether the colleges are teaching, then who will teach? And therefore, I really appreciate that NEP has incorporated such elements or such content in our education system. And one must take them in a right spirit, in a true letter and spirit, and impart them with integrity. And not only on paper, because we have to comply to NEP implementation, but also we should put it in reality, in practice. And in order to put it in practice, one have to leave that. Unless a computer engineer himself is not a good developer, or unless a computer professor is not in himself a good developer, he cannot make his student, or he cannot teach his student computer programming or data structure or programming in general or problem solving. So similarly, a professor, if he has not imbibed all these important aspects as a part of his life, he cannot impart this education to the student. One cannot say that we are here to teach only engineering. Yes, our primary focus is engineering, but these are also important aspects of life. And students rely on colleges to learn them. If we don't teach them, they will never understand that there exist such important aspects to be learned in life. And therefore, this program is very significant And I believe and I think that this aspect was taken care of when this program was executed and this program was implemented in the letter and spirit. So I once again congratulate all the delegates who attended this. And I am going to repeat this, what I repeat in every FDP and every conference is, you keep your video off. That is not at all appreciated. Because we are already in online mode. Such programs used to happen earlier in offline mode. And in offline mode, we can interact. The purpose of this FDPs and any conference is first networking. Learning can happen anywhere, individually also. Students go to schools not to learn courses, but to learn through peers, to network with the students, because peer learning is very important. And that is missing in online mode. And if we keep the video off, then I'm not sure what are you doing, whether you are really focusing here or you are doing something else, watching a movie or doing some other thing. So this is not a professional behavior. One has to switch on the video. The delegates are here to learn and they must focus on learning, and then only they can dictate to their students that when I am giving a class online, you must keep. Yesterday, Dongre madam was there and we were discussing about the pros and cons. Yesterday or day before yesterday, or Jyoti madam was there, somebody was there, that we were discussing about pros and cons of online teaching, and one of the aspect mentioned was that students are defocused. And we must imbibe in this quality in ourselves. But anyway, I extend my gratitude to all of you, all the resource persons, the delegates who attended this, and I request you to pass on this to the other members of your college. Thank you so much. And if you have learned anything, then please pass it on. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Your support is always needed to us. And our participants were from our VIT and VIIT, I mean, Kondwani, Bay and BBOD campus. So, our faculties. You are mute, sir.
I understood that, but I could not directly speak that VIT and VIIT faculties off. That's why.
Yes, yes. Okay, Joshi, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, Director, sir, for those inspiring and forward-looking thoughts. Next, we are pleased to welcome Dr. Mohammad Atik, sir, Director, Malviya Mission Teacher Training Center, Sant Gadge Baba, Amravati University. His steadfast commitment to teacher training and faculty development has inspired numerous educators across the nation. Sir, we are eager to hear your reflections.
Thank you very much, Rishikesh Joshi, sir. And the dignitaries present in the valedictory function, Dr. Jalnikar, sir, Dongre madam, Dr. Parikshit Mahalle, sir, and other senior staffs. Right, we are with you from last 8 or to 10 days, and I think director sir have covered almost all the aspects of NEP. This is what NEP is all about. That is how we can bring out, should I say, a holistic change in our approach. That is, we may be very good at when it comes to technical aspects, but how good we are when it comes to when we are a human being, right? So I'll take it further. That is, many times I used to say that is how we can transform our students, okay, from an ordinary student to a lifelong learner. That is what is the, you can say, the underlying philosophy is NEP is all about. And that's why if you look at the approach in which it is being adopted nationwide, okay, the government has taken up this as a mission, okay. So as far as our MMTC is concerned, okay, again we are working. Normally, this is the wrong perception of you can say. I'm not saying, but most of the time we feel that the persons working in government organizations, they are not committed, or most of the time they are not doing their duties. But if you look at particularly under the regime of our honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, right, the government is in a mission mode, okay, and NEP is not an exception to that. And that's why we are implementing. I'll share with you that we have been given targets. Okay, we have to conduct 2 programs per month, and minimum participant is 100. Okay, maximum 200. That is what is there on paper. Okay, so we have been, see, it happens many times. Okay, those who are particularly your institution, you are result oriented, target oriented. But when it comes to government institution, most of the time we feel that we do not have any targets or any milestone to achieve. But I would love to share with you that we are in a mission mode. Okay, and particularly our state, that is government of Maharashtra, we are amongst the first, I should say, who has adopted this NEP 2020 in its totality. Okay, and there are you have been exposed to. I'll not talk much because I was interacting with you earlier before, right? As a teacher, okay, whatever little bit experience I have acquired over a period of 3.5 decades. Okay, being a teacher, I feel that we need to change our attitude. We need to transform ourselves, and if we do not do so, definitely we will not find any place for us, right? So because the changes are inevitable, right? You cannot feel, you cannot bypass them, right? Changes are always inevitable, and those who do not change with respect to time, definitely they don't find any place for them in the world, right? So with this few word, once again I would like to thank the organizer, particularly Dongre madam, Parikshit Mohalle sir, and even I think Joshi sir, and maybe a couple of more people I don't know, maybe personally. So, and particularly the director sir, for giving us an opportunity to interact with you and collaborate with you. And this collaboration, I assure you, as a director of MMTC Santa Gadge Baba Amravati University, this will not end here. We will have very many things to take in a collaborative manner, right? So I wish you all a very, I should say, whatever you have learned, you will transform it into the uh, student, and definitely we will have era which will witness a complete, you can say, change in the landscape of education sector. So with this few words, once again I thank you all. Okay, and this is all from my end. Thanks for giving the opportunity to interact. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Rightly said, sir. Change is inevitable, and change is a part of life. That's true, sir. Thank you, Dr. Atik sir, for your insightful addresses. Now let's hear directly from our participants. Their engagement and enthusiasm have been heartbeat of this program. Now let's invite some of the participants to kindly share their feedback and learning experience. Anyone from the participant? Please share your feedback. Anyone from the participant?
Sir, may I?
Yes, please, ma'am.
Okay. So good afternoon, all the participants and Atik sir. Myself, Dr. Rakhi Bharadwaj from the Computer Department. Sir, I have attended the day workshop on the National Education Policy, which was a very highly enriching and impactful experience. It provided in-depth insight into the key reforms as well as the objectives of the NEP. So we have just got all the ideas about the NEPs, and it is the sessions was very well structured, interactive, delivered by the experienced resource persons, and they have effectively addressed both the theoretical as well as the practical aspects of the policies. The entire workshop, which has fostered meaningful discussions, which encourage collaborative learning, and which is equipped with the participants to boost their knowledge and how to use the tools which is necessarily aligned with the institutional practices by using the NEP guidelines. So overall, it was a very well organized and professionally conducted program that significantly contributed to faculty development and the NEP policy awareness. So thank you for conducting such a meaningful and very, we can say, important workshop. So thank you all of you. Thank you, Atik sir, and over to you, Rishikesh sir.
Thank you, Rakhi madam. Thank you for your feedback.
Thank you,
Anyone else?
Rakhi madam.
Yeah. Anyone else? Any other would like to share their feedback? Yes, from
Sir.
participants.
Yes, sir. Rashmi Ashtagi here, Dr. Rashmi Ashtagi from Computer Department.
Yes, madam.
It was a great and enriching FDP. All the sessions were very informative and engaging and very insightful about the National Education Policy 2020, which was very useful, and it will be useful further also. And complete team has taken a lot of efforts in making this valuable learning experience for all of us. The expert sessions were very good, very informative, and all the links, PPTs were shared immediately after the sessions. So thank you for that. Thank you for wonderful FTP. Thank you.
Thank you, Rashmi madam. Thank you, Rakhi madam and Rashmi madam, for your valuable feedback. Due to time constraint, we need to move ahead. To formally conclude today's event, I now invite Dr. Shubham Joshi sir to deliver the vote of thanks, expressing the gratitude towards all dignitaries, speakers, coordinators, and participants for making this virtual FDP a grand success. Dr. Shubham Joshi sir, over to you.
So thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity. So I'm Dr. Shubham Joshi, Head of Sustainability Development for the Vishwakarma Institutes and University, as well as Associate Professor in Artificial Intelligence and Data Science Department. So I start my vote of thanks with a quote, which is based on the NEP 2020 consideration given by the UGC as well as Government of India, that NEP 2020 envisions education not as the learning of facts, but the nurturing of curiosity, where collaboration fuels innovations and every learner becomes a contributor for a better nation. So with this particular thought, I express my gratitude towards the organizing team from the Sri Sant Sri Gadge Baba Amravati University for organizing a 10-day workshop on the National Education Policy in implementation, we can say, in collaboration with UGC Malviya Mission Teacher Training Center. This 10 days workshop gives a lots of learning and hands-on experience to our faculty members, PG and PhD scholars, with a variety of consideration related to NEP, universal human values, technology, early age technology tools, hands-on sessions, variety of assessment tools, ICT assessment, and many other things from the plethora of expert teams across the India, and we can say they are very much well known across the globe in terms of teaching, learning, and development. So this 10 days workshop, or we can say very interactive session, was conducted in online mode with pertaining to timing slot between 3 to 6, so that the faculties who are engaged into their teaching and learning in parallel activities and assessment, but they were quiet to attend this particular program. So I appreciate the participants, as well as I feel my gratitude towards the organizing team, and especially to our managing trustee, Shri Bharat Agrawal sir, from the Bansilal Ramnath Agrawal Charitable Trust for the Vishwakarma Institute to provide this opportunity to organize this particular events. Dr. Rajesh Jalnekar sir, our director sir, for their continuous guidance to organize such kind of events. our motivation, Dr. Parikshit Mahalle sir, the Dean Research, Vishwakarma Institute of Technology, Dr. Vivek Deshpande sir, Director Technology and Projects, Dr. Vishali Patil Madam, Dean Administration, Dr. Atul Kulkarni sir, Director Corporate Relations, and the overall motivation and the driving force for this particular workshop, Dr. Shital Dongra Madam, the Head of Department for the Artificial Intelligence and Data Science. I thanks all of these people to encourage us to organize this kinds of program continuously for the betterment of not only for the teaching but also for the research and innovation in a collaborative mode. I wholeheartedly thanks the organizers from the MMTC and Sri Gadgi Baba Amravati University, Muhammad Atiq sir. You prepared and delivered your session meticulously, sir, and especially your today's session with the hands-on learning experience using ICT. Like everyone is using AI nowadays for the assessment, but you demonstrated AI along with variety of different possibilities to be inculcated for the project perspectives as well. And this will certainly help our faculty members to look into it to adopt for the upcoming assessment schemes. So thank you very much, sir, for your hands-on experience.
Thank you.
I appreciate our whole organizing team, Dr. Gopal Upadhyay sir, Dr. Rishikesh Joshi sir, Bhagwan Thorat sir, and Udambar sir for providing such a wonderful support and day-to-day activities to co-host the session and to manage the session and all. I also appreciate the Ankit sir for like to motivate the people and the participants to join on time, so that like we feel that yes, we are participating in a classroom kind of activity, so that attendance is also mandatory until unless the workshop is going on. So at the end, we conclude this enriching journey. I extend heartfelt gratitude to all the organizers, participants, to making this event as a great success. The insights, discussion, and collaborations shared over past sessions are truly inspired us. And this is not just a valedictory session, but we can say it's a new beginning, an opportunity for our faculty members to transform their knowledge, to transform their learning into the meaningful actions, so that they can inculcate these particular concepts into their upcoming teaching subjects as well as their research and innovations. So let us carry the spirit of learning, innovation, and unity into our respective domains. Wishing everyone continued success in their future endeavors. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Shubham sir, for this vote of thanks. As we bring this session to a close, let us carry forward the essence of NEP 2020 into our classroom, digital platforms, and institutional frameworks. Thank you once again for joining us online and making this program successful, impactful. Stay safe, stay inspired. Wishing you all continued success. Jai Hind. On this note, I conclude this valedictory program.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.